just talking about business. Business.
How do these corporations stay afloat? All these legacy corporations of production. It's like they always try to adapt these new strategies of like, oh, we're gonna start buying outside of the United States, or we're gonna adopt these new programs, update to SAP, and like do all these cool hip things that the tech firms are doing. And it's like, dude, if it's not broken, don't fix it, because then everybody's scrambling and confused.
Yeah,
It really boggles my mind. I,
we had a great idea of like buying elsewhere. Like right before the pandemic, I think we started buying some stuff overseas, and then pandemic hit, and now we can't get the stuff in, or we have to expedite all of it all the time, and it costs us so much money.
yeah, we're down to like pretty much all air shipments, which is like
Oh
so much
God,
more
yes.
expensive than it's so much more expensive than like shipping by freight, freight, like ship freight ships or whatever.
Yep.
And it's like i- it's like, I hate to say it, but a lot of the underlings, little gremlins that push buttons like me, it's like we could have seen this coming. I don't know, it's like I was in a meeting and I was telling them, because I lived in Huntington Beach at the time, and I would go jog on the boardwalk, and this was like like I think 3 Christmases ago now. I was like, man, I told some people that I report to, like, yeah, I'm seeing ships backed up from Long Beach port all the way um, past Huntington's Pier, which I don't know nautical miles, but like by road, that's about 25 miles. If you take the 45, it's like 20, 25 miles. And I was like, yeah, like kind of like heeding a warning, like, hey, I'm jogging and I'm seeing ships backed up that far. And they just now started bringing it up in like these like big group meetings with our like upper management. And they're like, oh, I was on my Sea-Doo and I counted about 20 ships backed up, and that was only the beginning. I'm like, dude, I told you guys this. Like, whatever. I don't get paid enough to tell you guys this shit, but I warned you. Like, come on. It's kind of funny.
I sent you
What
the
is
I
that?
sent you the info for the
The
lobby.
room?
Yeah, dude. And if any viewers happen to catch it, come join us. But that's the other part that drives me nuts is like the underlings know more shit than the people on top. It's like, this is coming. We can't do this because this. We should do this because that. And they're like, yeah, whatever, yeah. And then everything goes to the shit, and then they get
it
pissed.
it really comes down to like what incentivizes upper management versus what incentivizes like the little cave trolls that work that actually do the work. It's like different incentives, and I think that's it's just a very big mistake. Like, I really legit think of, because it's like I work for a big corporation, and they're just not nimble, man. And like the incentivization methods are like outdated, and it just blows my mind being on the inside out. It's like, how do these companies do it for hundreds of years? I don't understand.
One,
Don't fire me, please.
some of them get like propped up by the government too, so
Oh yeah,
they can
I would
be
say like,
terrible when they know they have a fallback.
right. Yeah, they don't have any consequences. I mean, the industry I work in is probably heavily incentive or heavily subsidized, I would say. I mean, they at least take loans. I know that much. I don't know if they just get like handouts, but I digress. Let's hunt some monsters.
Hell yeah! I read a
I think.
thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
We got to sort out what we're doing first.
Oh shit, dude, my
You just
laptop's
do.
starting to just randomly run applications. I hope it doesn't throw me off Skype, but we'll see. It does this, man. It's a really old laptop, and it just does some fuck shit. I don't know.
Donate now at
I
I
need to
think the
upgrade.
like the PayPal's in the our bio or something like that. Max needs a laptop. Max needs a mic. Max needs a camera. Aaron needs a Switch. All these types of
Well,
things.
I have a mic. It's just when
Oh,
I when I remember when I asked you one time,
ooh.
like, oh, how much better? What? And I've got like a audio interface. You know, I mean, we used it. I used it a while ago for our podcast, and then I think the next time I was like, oh, I should set it up, and I asked you like, did it make a big difference? And you said, not really. I think I need a mic stand. That's probably the problem.
Yeah, because that one you gotta have it up in your grill for the best quality, for that ASMR quality, so we can hear you going.
Oh man,
you know, that kind of stuff.
Talk about weird. Yeah, but yeah, send us money anyways.
Wait, Robert. I keep saying his last name too. I wonder if he gets pissed about that. Robert, you owe me $1,
fill
dude.
me in on that joke because
Well, it's a guy. Okay, his name is Robert.
I don't know it.
Robert Manlyman. We're gonna call him that. I used to work with him. Yeah, I used to work with him. And then he moved to Arkansas because he thought it was the greatest thing ever. Something about he wishes he could whack off Bill Clinton or something. But I don't know. That's what he said.
His words, not mine. All right.
But yeah, I kept trying to get him to like come on our conspiracy podcast, DYB podcast. Check it out. We don't update it anymore. But anyway, I tried to get him on, and he's like, "No, dude, I don't want to be on there. I'll sound like a little bitch." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right. So whatever. But you should still donate to us." He's like the only person I can call out to give us $1 because he's like Bitcoin rich. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
you actually have. Hold on, you have a. Now put a quest up. Anyway, yeah, because I assume he is because when it was like 4,000 is when he got started. So surely he's made some money there. Because it's like what? It's something ridiculous now.
It's at like 40.
Oh my god, ridiculous.
It's probably like 43 or 45.
Okay,
It's been fluctuating between like 43 and 49. Doge went back up. I wish I would have bought some on this recent dip, but I did not. I bought it when it was like maybe 9 cents. I bought not like a whole hell of a lot, but it's the bulk of my portfolio. Let's just say that.
Dogecoin.
Apple's been like doing me pretty decent. I don't own a whole lot, but
I bought some Nvidia the other day because I know they're gonna take
chips, right?
They're gonna take off. Like they're not doing great because of the chips and shortages and whatnot. I don't know if you know about that, but yeah.
No, I do. Yeah, I do.
It heavily impacts us. Yeah, because I'm in automotive and it sucks. But
well, yeah, I've heard that they're like selling new cars without chips. I don't know if that's still.
Oh, are they? Good, because I was thinking about that. I'm like, why don't we just go back to like cars that didn't have all this fancy weird ass shit? You could sell it for like $15K and everybody would buy one. So like, win-win. So I didn't know if they were actually going to try that.
It's the Chinese worm, man.
Yeah.
They need to, you know what I mean? These chips, it's like the Chinese worm.
I don't know.
It's to spy on us. No, I don't know. I think a lot of the chips come from Taiwan. I bought I can't remember, Taiwan chip. I don't remember what the ticker is or even the company name, but when there was a lot of news of the chip shortage, there was like one company in Taiwan that was looking promising.
Oh.
So I bought a few shares of them.
How's that turn out?
They're doing all right. I think they paid out dividends yesterday. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, I got some of that. CRM, they're a pretty good one. Well, I don't know if they would. We're not stockbrokers. Don't take our advice. But I like to dabble. But I have not been too active over the last like year.
I'm of the mindset like, yeah, just buy something you know in the long run is gonna do awesome. Do it and then let it sit. Like relax. Like.
That's my strategy, but I want to add to my portfolio. I just don't know what. And then a buddy of mine keeps asking me to like go in on a house with him, and I'm just not I'm not in a position to where I feel comfortable with that. And aside from that, dude, I know you just recently bought a house, and I mean,
paid way more than I needed to, but yes.
So that's what I was gonna say is like, the prospects of housing to me don't make any sense. Like, it really seems like it's been in a bubble even like after 2008 like housing market crash. It's like as soon as shit crumbles, like the next day it's all back up because what is it, like BlackRock or whatever and all these
Yeah.
mutual funds just buy up swaths of like suburbs, and it's like you cannot compete with this. So it's like I just don't
Well,
I don't know.
well. Here's the plan. If he's trying to get you to buy a house, I think it's not a bad idea, depending on how much he wants you to go in and how much, if it's even worth it. But at some point, I feel like BlackRock's gonna want it and may pay good money
I
for
see.
it. Now, if you go along with that, shame on you because you're supporting them.
Right, right. Well, and it's interesting lately I've been seeing, and whatever, you could say it's all part of like the Great Reset, but I've been seeing all of these articles like people aren't like don't want to buy houses anymore and they shouldn't. Like it's a bad idea
Ooh,
to buy housing. It's like
oh,
they don't
okay.
want it. They literally do not want us to own shit. And
I know. That's why I
at the end of the
made
day,
sure I bought a house when I did because I'm like, I need to own this because they're trying to make it so nothing's available. That's why the market's so crazy is because I feel like BlackRock's buying up everything and it's creating a housing shortage, and that's why people are willing to pay nuts prices to get a house, which I did.
it's so annoying, man. And it's like they're using like whatever you want to call it, democratic slash like cor- like free market means to do it, but it's like it seems like a very targeted strategic coalition with the government to like and like media to essentially just shell out like or make make America a shell of what it was. And I think they're basically at that point already. I mean, I don't it's not obviously hasn't been a free market for a while, but I just think we're at a point where it's so corrupt you can't even like you can't even consider it even a semblance of a free market. It's like it's all so screwed up. And it's like by means of these giant corporations that made their mark through an actual like free market. I don't know.
But part of the problem too is though, like if somebody approaches you and you've got a house that's worth 300K and they're like, "We'll give you 500K." Do you
You're
know
gonna do it.
anyone that's going to turn it down? So it's partially our fault. Like we're just as greedy as they are. So
True.
we're kind of
That's a good
enabling
point.
them.
Well, and that's why I said they're using these like actual, I guess, free market means of like undermining the whole system. It's like very meta, very ironic. But end of the day, like it is just not going to be good for. And I think a big problem is too a lot like what I was saying earlier about like legacy corporations and companies is a lot of these folks I think are near the end of their working lives. And so they're trying to just scrape up whatever's left and they're not like thinking about how is this going to impact people, the next generation and this and that. I mean, it's like goes back to what you're saying. They're just as greedy as you and I would be, and so they're like very short-sighted, not
Right.
really looking for the betterment, health, and like health of a nation, so to speak. I guess. But sad but true. And I don't,
Unfortunately.
and do they just want? It seems like the landscape is sort of like everyone wants to be, like a creator of some sort. I'm guilty of it. I'm trying to make music and stuff, but you gotta like think of like resource constraint. End of the day, there's only so many hip hop artists that the market can sustain, and there's only so many clubs out there that are willing to let you perform live, and Spotify only has so many really like popular people that the population can even like listen to just time constraint wise. And it's like it's that everyone's listening to Drake and shit, and I hate Drake. I do not think he's talented, but you get what I'm saying.
That's the well, music's even worse. But I always talk about. Sorry, I'm getting destroyed here. Like there's this weird like snowball effect for most things like music, books, shows, all that stuff, where And there's some episode Jordan Peterson was talking about this, like economically. Like if you go into a store on a bookshelf, you're gonna see a lot of like you're for sure gonna see like a Stephen King book. And the only reason it's that way is because he wrote a good book at some point. They put it on the shelves, and then they know in the future people are familiar with his name, so they're gonna keep putting his books on the shelf. And even as consumers, you're gonna only look for something you're familiar with, right? A lot of us don't like to take risks and be like, "What if I don't even like this book? I've never even heard of this person." So you don't even branch out to something. So you're looking at the same people all the time for the stuff. Your music's the same way, where it's, but the dirty part about music is that like it's not even the most talented people. It's whoever they feel like they want to promote becomes the most popular. And then that's all you see and that's all you hear. And then it's like, who's going to branch out and look at random stuff? And there's like, and we were talking like the algorithm last time, like it's, if you want to find something new, like if you bring up like a station on Spotify or something to try and find the music, you're not. It's going to give you the same old shit all the time. It's not going to give you anything new or fresh because there's no money in it. They want you to keep listening to Spotify, so they're like, okay, well, listen to this song you've heard 100 times that we know you like. So, like, music's even harder. It's like, I want them to hear my stuff, but how is anyone going to hear it, you know?
Right, and I think also another effect that I haven't fully developed the idea in my head, and so this might not make complete sense, but just try to bear with me here, is like, you know, YouTube started as a place where it was like, and Spotify as well, it's like I think they tried to be a solution, like to oppose that, what you just explained, where they said, oh, okay, well, you know, we're building this platform where a nobody can come and hopefully get recognized. I really think
that's how it's supposed to be, yeah.
But then it turned into, you know, they became sort of the mainstream, so the money got thinner and thinner, and now it's like back to square one, what you were talking about, where it's like, you know, they're only going to promote people that they know will make them money. But it didn't, like, I don't think that was the idea from the jump.
And honestly, so I don't even think it's, I'm pretty sure, like, all the people that succumb to that, like YouTube, for example, it's not owned by who created it. They sold out at some point, and that's a huge issue.
Well, now what? Google owns YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So that says it all, man.
So again, it falls back on us. That's the fun part, is like when people like to rail on like capitalism, like the system's fine, like you're part of the problem.
It's because everyone throws principles away, you know, that nobody, which, and it's like, you know, throughout history, you kind of see this ebb and flow, in my opinion, where, what was it? And maybe you don't know this, but like the timeline, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was kind of like the Enlightenment, where there was just this boom of scientific ideas and new technology to help us. And then right after that, again, this is the part where I might be screwing up my history, it was like the Great Awakening. So it was, I think, like there's always this kind of materialistic boom, and then it turns into like a principled boom, where people are like, oh, we need to focus on, you know, what's right for the family and what's right for like me as like my spiritual side. And then it, you know, and then it, from there, then it goes back to like, oh, there's all this new technology, and so everybody's like, it's like a money grab because people see opportunity, and then it goes back to, you know, the awake. It's like kind of, is that making sense?
It is, and I think you're right. Because that's, and like with like something as silly as like hashtag van life or whatever, we're seeing people realize like, okay, money's not all that important.
Yeah, especially when the government's just printing it out of their butthole.
So that's going to start to push us back in that direction. So there's hope. There's hope. Like, I'm in a point now where I don't care. Like, I want to, you know, make enough so I don't have to worry about putting food on the table, and that's about it. And if everybody went there, I think it would change the landscape a lot. Although I feel like, you know, the governments and the elites are working against us. Getting to that point is difficult for some.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, do you think we'll ever get to a point, and I want to say like these elites probably already see this in the horizon, and this is what they're trying, I don't know, where what is left to make? Like, you know what I mean? What else is there to invent? And then it's kind of like, I liked your idea, what you said. I mean, I don't like it, but it makes sense where you were saying, I think, eventually like economies are going to get to a point where everyone's just trying to be a creator. I mean, we're kind of there. Everyone's just trying to be a creator, and then it's going to be like, that market's going to just be saturated. I mean, saw the boom of like SoundCloud rappers and all these people that were using sort of like, um, independent means of getting to fame and fortune. And like, in my opinion, obviously I've never been in the industry really, but a lot of these industries, like, they used to be structured where you had to have like a manager and an agent to scout out like gigs for you. And
Yeah.
it's not really, I don't think you really need that anymore. There's kind of in our hands, but then with that, goes back to what I was saying before, it kind of turns into like, well, the money gets spread thin. And so like, yeah, you might make it, but I don't think like celebrities nowadays are like as rich as, I don't think it's as lucrative as it once was. I could be wrong, but
Well, that's something you got to be willing to accept, right? So you're not going to become a millionaire, but you can make a living doing something you enjoy. And if people's mindsets, and I feel like it's shifting this way, are okay with that, they're like, yeah, I just want to make a living doing music. I don't want to be rich and famous. Then it gets spread thin, but it's okay.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
And
I think it'd be way more interesting to have 50 famous artists that are not household names versus having like 3 artists breaking all the money that everybody's heard of. Like, that's kind of lame. Because they're not,
yeah,
well, one, they're not even that good, and then two, I don't know, it just gets stale over time.
no, I agree. And it's interesting. I find myself a lot of times like looking up people's net worth. I know it's weird, but I do that. And it's like, but there's like a big difference between, I mean, okay, and this isn't true in every case. There are like some underground hip hop artists that have basically like, you know, kind of molded the current landscape, and they're not really like, maybe they're worth like 5 million. But then you got, Drake, who's worth like, I don't know, probably almost like close to 1 billion. And but then you look at like some of the newer artists that are, and they're still up and coming, so there's opportunity, but they're like maybe stuck at like 3 million. And it's like, unless they start pumping out a bunch of music, like they're not gonna, they might have seen like their heyday. Like Lil Pump, he's worth like 8 million. Okay, I mean, yeah, he's young and he's got time, but I don't think he'll ever get to like 500 million or anything like that. I can't imagine he would, but
And again, part of that is, it's like, why is Drake worth so much money? And it's because of us,
an
dude.
industry. Well,
It's because of us.
yeah, yes and
When it
no.
comes
I
down
mean,
to it, so it's like they promote him, which, some people just fall victim to that. But if we all just became critical assholes and just said, this is fucking shit, I don't want to hear this,
yeah.
then things might change. But people are, I don't
Like
know.
complacent, and it's like, man, I know one of my buddies, like I love him to death, but he'll be like, I just remember all the time in the past, I'd be like, oh man, yeah, that you should listen to this guy, he's super good. And he's like, yeah, but he's not popular, so how do you know he's good? I'm like, what do you mean how to, like,
I
he's
listen
fucking
to it and
good.
it's fucking good. That's it.
Yeah,
Period.
and it's like, no offense, bud, but you don't have any music, like, not trying to sit on a high horse, but like I've played music most of my life, so I can appreciate and kind of identify good stuff. And
That is, yeah,
where
that is something. Once you actually learn some musical stuff, you realize how terrible some people are, and it's
yeah, and it's,
unfortunate.
like I was talking to another buddy of mine who um he is musically inclined, and him and I were kind of discussing like these like industry babies and how talentless they are. And he was like, he was, no offense to this guy, but he was kind of being like a snob in the sense that he was like defending them in a way, and like,
Oh
well,
no.
I used to have that same outlook, but then I got into mastering and mixing, and I can appreciate these like big name artists simply because of like how how well their stuff is mastered and like how polished it is. It's like, yeah,
It's
but
not even the
they
artist
didn't
then.
do that. Yeah, and they didn't do that. Like
Yeah.
that was like he has a team of probably like 30 people. You know, how can you say that that's him? Because it's not Drake. Like it's not Drake who's doing. And, you know, there's a lot of rumors that he doesn't even write his own lyrics. It's like, why is this guy
Oh
getting?
yeah, I guarantee he doesn't.
And so, like, I get what you're saying about, like, you know, it is our fault to an extent because we fall victim to their marketing. But it's like, I mean, okay, look at how much money was backing him to public, you know, to push his concerts and stuff. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's our fault for succumbing to it, but at the same time, you know, I almost feel like
Yeah, it's like 50-50. I'm not gonna put it all on
Yeah.
us, but we're the ones that can easily change it ourselves. We have the power to do that because we got the monies. We just like, I don't want to listen to that. No
But at
thanks.
the same time, like Drake will always make money even if people don't listen because
Will he?
once he's a name, well, yeah, I mean, you got to think like he gets money up front. I would imagine where like you know,
He does now,
brand-
but then once you go a year or two where nobody listens, that might change.
yeah, I suppose, yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, just he's trash. Like, how does a guy? What was he on Degrassi? Like, I've.
He was on
Like,
Degrassi?
Yeah, that's bro. That's where he made it. That's how he got
No
his
way.
face out there. Was he was like this like paraplegic kid in a wheelchair?
Was
got,
he
like,
really? Holy shit. I didn't know
I
this.
never watched.
All right,
it,
I gotta
yeah,
watch
that's-
Degrassi.
He was like a. You
That's
know,
funny.
He was kind of in the system from the get go.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that.
Which makes me think. I think of this a lot. Like a lot of these celebrities that come up and are just like too big to fail, so to speak. Like Drake. I feel like they have them. They breed them from a certain bloodline and keep them in a dungeon until they're like 16, and they're like, just study this art.
They do.
Study the culture of fame and celebrity, and like once you figured it out and you're ready, we'll release you from this dungeon, and then like good, you know, then you gotta like you know, make us money.
I bet you're right, dude.
It's just they're too. Some of these people come out of nowhere, bro, and it's like you're not good. Why do people like? How did you get here? Like him, you know, Kesha.
Is there any
Katy
good place to like
Perry.
find good music? There was I will say there's like a podcast I found that all they did was play like obscure, nobody's heard of them artists, and that's where I've actually found some decent people. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, at this point, you know, honestly, for trying to be in the music industry, like, why not, you know, as much as I love like music industry, I don't really know like the hip, like off the cuff sources, to be completely honest with you. I got a buddy who I grew up with who was always listening to like underground shit, and I would ask him like, dude, where do you get your like your sources? And he would never tell me.
Wouldn't tell you.
Bro, you're kind of being an asshole, man, but I do get it. I respect it.
Holy
whatever,
shit,
like.
there's a Rajong in here.
Oh, dude, Rajang, I feel like
I got this.
hard.
Hold on, I've never gotten to play one, so let me do this here.
I think
Here we-
Rajang got
Yes.
farmed in this game. Like, I'll be completely honest.
Yeah. A little bit, I think. I want to shoot the hyper beam.
I
Do
think
the
he's
hyper beam.
harder. He seems to be like more nimble, and his hits just destroy you.
He
I
has
feel like
less
now.
windows, yeah, and he does hit hard.
He's not as predictable. I've only really fought like one though, so I don't know. Maybe I just need to get used to him. Maybe
Oh,
I
you
never
fought
know.
one? Shit, dude.
Yeah,
Nice.
I had to fight one. I think I did. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah. And I think I won. I don't know. I have to go check my quest. Maybe I didn't beat him though, honestly. Like I don't know if I.
Because
did.
I remember he was our demise in Generations Ultimate. We went to fight a Rajong. We lost. We never played again.
I think they have made him harder throughout the years. I really do believe that because I used to be able to solo him like no problem, and now I like struggle against him pretty hard.
I think it's just the amount of hours we put into it. And then they changed the moveset a little bit, and we're like, fuck, we gotta learn it again. Damn it.
And his hitboxes, and who knows?
Because, like, yeah, Rathion's so much different now compared to back in the day. Like,
Rathian's
it was farm mode back in the day, because I had to, because it's could never get that Rathian ruby that you want.
yeah.
So I fought like hundreds of them. So it's like, okay, that's a piece of cake now, and then they change it a little bit, so it becomes hard again.
I think Rathalos is like, I don't know. They
He
did a
is
pretty good balancing act. I mean,
I like
he
it.
hits
Yeah.
harder, I think, but he does not have as much health. There's more opportunity to hit him. He used to just fucking run away all the time like a little baby.
And that was it. Yeah, that was one nice thing they added, is that we can always hit him even when he's flying. But God, he's so aggressive now.
Oh yeah, dude, he'll just hit. He does like a drive. I think I mentioned this before. There's like this
Drive-by, yeah.
fireball, and it takes all my health. I'm just like, dude, wow, wowza. But I think I'm using the same armor that you're using now.
Is it the weird dragon mask one? I don't know. It takes material from like everything, and it's the the like ninja guy from the story. It's his armor, I guess.
It's called, the stuff I've got on now is...
Hold on, let me get a look at you. No, well, you've got that thing, a goofy
I've got a
thing.
skin on it.
I don't think we got the
dude.
same armor, dude.
I really fought hard to get this skin, dude. It was like...
oh, he's a gimpin'. He's a gimpin'. Okay, I'm surprised none of us have died being distracted and everything. And this is, honestly, this is probably one of the hardest monsters, in my opinion.
I've been playing it kind of safe, like, not just all up in his grill.
Oh, that's why it's taking us 25 minutes.
Well, yeah, I'm usually like all up in their space, but then I'll die once or twice, and so I'm like, yeah, no, not today. Not today, Satan.
All right, you do this. I'm 100% out of healing stuff, so.
Really? I've got some left.
I forgot to restock because, I'm not going to be hassled with all that.
I started hitting the gym again this week. First time back from my accident.
How was it? You're gonna hurt tomorrow.
Long ass ways to go. Well, no, I didn't go to. I went yesterday and I went on I think Tuesday. So I went Thursday and Tuesday, and let me tell you, I feel like the fallen hero, bro. It's so sad, dude. I was like, I was almost at benching 2 plates before my accident, like 2 plates on both sides, which is nice. I think I was at like 180 or something, or 185 at my max. And then, bro, I could hardly even do like, I could hardly even do 15 on each side.
It's crazy how quickly you lose it. Like,
well, no, so that's what I was gonna say. It's not that I don't have the strength, it's that like my elbow is just not stable. It's so frustrating, because like I'll be like, when you bench, like it's a chest workout, but it's a compound workout, so you're using I'm bending my elbow, and so
everything else needs to be working. Yes.
Yeah, dude, and it blows my mind like how much your body is like interconnected with it. It's like a good and bad thing, but in this case not good. And so, I'm like doing my bench, and like when I'm like trying to straighten out first of all, my elbow still is not like 100% straightened, like I can't straighten it all the way. And so when I push in the bar up, it feels like it's kind of like a like when your knuckles kind of feel like they have to fudge. I just died. Feel like they have to pop. It's kind of like a pressure on the joint, and like it's like uncomfortable, but it doesn't really hurt. It's like that times 10 on my elbow, to where I'm like, man, it just feels like it's gonna collapse and this bar is gonna fall on my face. Like, it's not fun, dude. I'm just like sitting here.
So your elbow shit, is that just because you've been out so long, or was your elbow impacted by the other shit that happened?
Oh, dude, my elbow got destroyed. It dislocated like completely, and I have a joint. I had a joint replacement. My radial head is like all metal. They couldn't scavenge it. They just had to.
Sounds like you got fucked up more than I knew. Damn, son.
I got destroyed, bro. I got it pretty bad, man. Like total joint, pretty much full joint replacement for the radial head.
Was it just one elbow?
Yeah, yeah, and then two fractures on my other arm's wrist. So I got like a plate in there.
He's a robot now, bebop boop.
I really am, dude. Like, if I go through a security, metal detector at the airport or something, they're gonna, I'm gonna set that alarm off for sure. Man, I cannot figure out how to get to this kid. Where is it? How do I get to this guy right now?
That's nuts, dude. On a scale of 1 to 10, your worst pain, how bad was it?
Like,
And I guess
when I fell?
when was your worst pain? Was it when you fell, or was it like other stuff, like
Oh man,
later?
that's really hard to say. I mean, that's really hard to say. The worst pain was like probably when I don't know, man. What
'Cause I
when
imagine
I
when you
felt
actually fell, that the adrenaline was counteracting it.
yes, there was that, but when I was trying to figure out what had damage I had done to myself when I landed, I tried to, I was kind of like wiggling to like sit up and see what the damage was, and with that elbow totally dislocated, any like
Ooh.
fidget or like
Oh,
movement of
jeez.
that elbow, that was probably the worst. So like thankfully there was this lady there along with my buddy that I was mountain biking with. Oh shit, I might die. With my friend and I just took the like god damn it,
Oh
dude.
fuck. Oh, that's not
That's the
good.
work pain right there is dying twice in a row that quickly in
Oh
this
shit,
game.
shit,
But
shit, 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 shit. I have no health. I have no health. Run away. Fuck. Hold on.
you will survive.
Yep. No. How dare you jinx me?
Sorry, bro. I was like getting. I'm sorry. You can blame that one on me.
It's okay. I'm gonna look up his weakness. We'll get him this time. I brought the wrong weapon too. Anyway, carry on. Pain and
So
suffering. That's worse than this.
yeah. Well, this is as bad as it gets as Monster Hunter when you die. But no. So I was laying there and I kind of was like sitting up and like trying to assess the damage. And so the worst pain probably that I felt was like when I would move my arm on my left elbow, and dude, the pain was just so excruciating with like how dislocated it was and stuff. So I literally like this lady was there and helping me out, and I had to walk to the helicopter. I told her like, yo, I just hold my forearm because like if this thing starts dangling and have to support it at all, it's just like it hurts so bad.
Oof.
That was probably the worst. I would say, yeah. Like the healing part of it didn't really hurt that bad. I mean, for a few, maybe like 2 weeks, I did have pain meds kind of helping me out, but I didn't really use them too much to be honest, because I was like, and then sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night and just be like, holy shit, dude, this is like does not feel good. But yeah, the initial movement of that elbow just was like bad, dude.
Dang. I don't think I've ever. The worst thing that's ever happened to me was, I'm pretty sure I deadlifted too much, cause like I think ultimately I ended up pinching a nerve or something, but it hurt so bad.
Yeah,
Oh my
deadlifting,
god.
if you don't use the right form, dude, you'll like, because I mean, yeah, I don't think deadlifting is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be a whole lot of your back, but like if you do it wrong, you can really mess up your lower back.
Yeah. And I
So,
think when I did it, I think it was. I probably had bad form because I think I was tired, but I had done good on the previous set. And I'm like, oh, dude, let's set a new personal record, which I did, and then immediately regretted. Well, the weird
yeah,
part was like it felt kind of funny leaving, and then it was like later that night, I was like, oh my god, I'm dying.
yeah, deadlifting, I've always been super sketched out to do deadlifts, but then last year when I got really like pretty heavy into lifting, um, I was doing like deadlifts regularly, and once you get the form down, like it really does it like works. I think it's your hamstring, like your back. I think it's a hamstring, right? The back of your leg, like the upper leg. That part gets and your glutes get really like a really good workout.
Yeah. I'm better at it now, and I take it easy now. But that's the worst pain I've felt. That's the only injury I've had to have pain meds for. And unfortunately, like when you go in there, like when they X-rayed it, like they're like, you're fine. There's nothing wrong on the X-ray. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, you probably just like like you said, pinched a nerve or like agitated a muscle, something like that.
Or pulled it real bad or something. But it was, yeah, it hurt for about maybe a week.
Ugh, yeah, lifting, lifting mishaps or injuries. Honestly, man, they can like mess you up for life. To be completely honest, from what I understand,
They
like
could, yeah.
if you throw your back out or something doing a deadlift, like
Yeah.
you're gonna be struggling for the rest of your life. And then like once you get old, like once you're old, it's like you'll feel it again. And that's like the worst part about what happened with me is, you know, I was walking around like right away. I was able to walk, so that's all I was doing because I wasn't working. I couldn't do anything really other than play video games and like go on a walk. And this lady saw me walking. She's like, "Hey, I haven't seen you walking. Like, what happened?" And I explained to her like my injuries.
I broke
She's
my
like,
arms.
Well, she's like, once you get to my age, you're gonna feel it all over again. I was just like,
Well, I fell off a mountain, so you know it's a little worse than what you were doing.
yeah.
No offense, lady.
Man, the funniest thing is like when people when like they would call me or something, or like I was telling people like what happened, they'd be like, "Oh, I can relate. One time I like broke my.
This one time I stubbed my toe. It fucking hurt real bad.
Basically, yeah, basically. Like my sister broke her elbow a long time ago, but it was like a minor, you know, not to downplay. I'm sure it sucked, but like it was pretty minor. And she was like, "Oh, I can relate. That happened." I was like, "No, you don't understand. Like, my elbow and my arm, my two pieces of my arm were in like different galaxies. They couldn't even talk to each other. It was awful." But yeah, no, thanks for the sympathy. I do. One time I broke my pinky. It's like,
Well, that's
oh,
a
dude,
good question though. Like when people say they've been injured or sick, what are we supposed to say? Us people that have not fallen off a mountain. We just be like, dude, bro, that sucks.
Nah, you don't have to say anything. I mean, it's a good story. It's you know, where is this guy? It's, if nothing else, it's a good story that I can, you know, talk, you know,
Tell the kids about.
Heed my warning. Where the F is this? Oh, he's up there. Why is he up there?
He usually starts up here. Why don't you go down to Zone 3 and fight the Rajang instead?
You want me to?
Sure. I need some Rajang
Seriously?
material.
Really? You want me to? I'm down.
I mean, I'd rather trade and you fight this guy. Also, by the way, I forgot to restock.
Bro, when you...
I'm going to be pro, though. Don't worry.
Quest,
I'm going to be pro.
The quest, I was like, that was pretty quick, but okay. I'll come up there. If you want to go fight Rajang, man, go for it.
Let's not say we did.
Okay.
Remember that Rajang we fought? Dude, we killed him in one hit.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
We didn't even need to fight him, but we did. That was pretty intense.
Also, I keep forgetting I have, like, super dodge skills. I've got the max level dodge evade window thingy majigger.
I think there's a couple different evade things. Like, one is, like, the distance, and then one is, like, the
this is the window, yeah.
Hit. Yeah, okay, I think... Oh, yeah, let's check this. Let's see. The armor I've got on is called...
What you got?
Where is it? Oh, wait.
The armor of the
The
Feig.
Utushi.
Let me see. Hold on. What do I got? Utsushi HS? Do you have the H?
HS, yeah. H
Hey, we got the same armor, bro. I wish I
No,
would
no
have done the other
excuses to
one
die.
because I don't want to wear this dumbass mask. I look like a
I think it
Feig.
looks sick.
Okay,
You know what
well.
armor is honestly pretty good that I've been looking at, that it's like looks good, and I think it looks good and it is pretty damn good, is like
Great
the
Tsuchi
Rover
armor.
Ritsuchi.
Is the one? Wait, the.
No, but the Remobra S or whatever, I think it's
Really?
pretty good, man. Dude, it's got like good resistances, and I think there's some decent skills on it too.
Okay.
So So I've actually been crafting some of it. You know, a few
You
weeks
just
ago. I
want to
haven't picked
have
up
a
some.
remote head, dude.
Dude, I do. It kind of makes you look like a ninja though a little bit. I don't know. It looks pretty sweet.
You look
It
like
looks good.
those bad guys in Sen's Fortress and Dark Souls. That's what you're gonna look
Those guys are so stupid, bro. Yeah, they just run after you, like they'll like never leave you alone, and then you just roll and they fall off the bridge. It's like, all right, have fun in hell.
I have a funny story about what's the so in Japanese it's a baka means like crazy
Idiot.
or like
It means like
ding dong
idiot.
or
Yeah, like a dummy.
he so we had a Japanese guy that said that
At
said
work,
some
like in a
lady
meeting.
yeah well to this lady they were talking and this is like oh she's baka and then and she was from Venezuela and in Spanish baka means cow and she thought he called her a cow.
I mean, either translation doesn't bode well for that guy. He's like in a butt like a suit. Baka! She's like, what? Oh my God. No, I called you an idiot. I would never call you a cow. I just called you an idiot. That's all.
That's funny. I found it very entertaining.
That is really funny. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. But the baka in Spanish is like VACA, I think, right?
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. There's also this Japanese guy that used to be like across from me, like over the cubicle.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I heard you swearing over there. Because it's, I don't know, it's like so. It's like how you say it. And they say it all the time.
Like,
They
damn,
say it
right?
all the time in the anime. I'm like, dude, I heard you say that. And he's like, I did not say. I did not say. I was like,
I
okay.
did not say it. Don't tell her. It's like, damn it.
So,
It's like Nandea, the baka. Those are like the 3 words I know. And there's one other one that sometimes I can remember. I think it means like my name is.
sayonara?
Oh yeah, that one. I know that one.
I know
Like,
very,
arigato.
very little Japanese. Like, Ohio. It's like good morning. And then, like, yeah, sayonara. Hi means yes.
Hi.
Hi!
The thing that I don't know about Japanese that it might be similar to Chinese is like they'll have like the same exact word, but then they have accents which give it a complete different meaning.
Yeah, that's
I
difficult.
don't know if Japanese is the same though.
Because, like, you could say, like, maybe, like, Ohio means something, but Ohio means something else. It's like, what the
Right.
fuck? How am I
Like
supposed
in
to
like
know
Chinese, it's like you could say like ma, and I don't know if I'm getting the accents right, but it's like ma is like a question like additive thingy, and then you could say like ma is like horse. It gets very confusing, and honestly, it is so fucking hard to train your ear to like understand the difference unless they like really punctuate it. But they, you know, if they're a native speaker, they're not gonna do that for you. So
Yeah, I'm always trying to think of, like, do we have any things in our language that are like that? And I just, nothing ever comes to mind, but I'm sure there is.
I mean, like 2 and 2. But,
That's a good point. Yeah,
but,
we've
like,
got some bullshit.
I mean, I've heard, and I'm sure you've heard this too, that like not American, English is the
American.
hardest language to learn. And
Yeah.
obviously, you know, coming as like a native speaker, like it's hard for me to understand that. But I really don't believe that, dude. Because like Chinese, I studied it for a little bit, and it is fucking hard, dude. Like the written
Pronunciation
part is
or grammar?
definitely harder. Just like understand. So like, okay, in Chinese, the sentence structures are easy. Like they don't play too many games with like the sentence structure and like how you form a sentence. But it's like what I was saying with like the listening and the writing part of it is like insane, dude. Because you know how we have 26 letters and that's it.
Yeah.
In Chinese, they have like there's like I can't remember the exact things, but they have like characters that are
I'm sure
built
it's
from like
ridiculous,
these
yeah.
certain thingies. And like you'll see one, if you see one in a character, you can kind of put together like, okay, they're talking about like that. Oh, what are they called? It's kind of like how we have vowels and stuff. They have separations. I can't remember what they're called. But if you see like these certain characters, you're like, oh, okay, that's talking about like wood or like the forest or
Yeah.
something. Or there's one for like rice, you know? So it's like, okay, you can kind of understand what it might be discussing, but the character, there's just so many characters. There's like thousands of them, I think. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do you memorize this?
That's a hard part because like doing like Japanese, it's like there's like the ones that are basically like letters, and it's like okay, I can do this. But then when you bring in the kanji, like the full on characters, it's like fuck, I ain't got
So
time for
hard.
this.
It's like, no, dude, just stick to 26 letters, and then we'll just like make some quiet. You know, we'll write P, but not actually pronounce it, or like we'll have GH, but not pronounce it.
Yeah, like we got some peculiarities, but like it's not. You just learn it. But now I've never messed with like any Middle or Eastern language, so I can't
Oh, I would
speak to
imagine
that.
it's
But like
Sanskrit.
Asian ones, at least Japanese and Chinese, seem pretty difficult. And I think Chinese
Yeah,
is probably the worst.
they're
And then
really,
Korean, I
yeah.
think theirs is, I think it's easy to understand. I've never taken the time to do it, but just the way they make their characters, it's supposed to be, it's like it means a word. They just kind of stack all the symbols together, and it means a word.
Well, I know, like, I mean, South Korea is like kind of and Japan as well is like adopted a lot of like American culture. So, you know, there's like rendition, you know, okay, so in Chinese, for instance, there's like traditional and then there's simplified. So they've like,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
there's iterations of their written language and stuff. And so I feel maybe I'm wrong, but I'm sure if you look back in history, like, you know, South Korea and Japan have probably tried to make their shit like a lot easier for like Western culture,
Yeah.
just because they've whether by force or by interest, like they've kind of had to adopt the Western way in few senses,
Although,
and I don't think China really has done that too much.
I was
They
gonna say,
don't care.
do you think like how languages have like ours has gotten simpler. Like the actual conversational English is much simpler than it used to be. Do you think we're just getting dumber?
Yeah,
Simplifying
that's a good.
everything just I don't know if it's I don't know. It'd be different if we were simplifying so that other people could understand, but we're just simplifying because we're dumb.
Well, are you talking like modern
like
means of
like
communication or like
there's so,
spoken? Because like you
like
know we use like lol and shit in like text, but
I just
some
mean like
people use it for speaking.
conversational. Like you would never say like, "Oh, I find this battle to be rather frustrating." Like nobody would say that. They'd just be like, "This sucks." We've just simplified the way we speak in conversation compared to
Yeah, I maybe I will say I was actually just talking to my mom about this the other day. Well, actually, could you give me an example? I don't think people know words as well. So I don't know if that's what you're trying to say. Like, I think people kind of generally try, you know, we.
I would say people don't know what a thesaurus is anymore. Like it's just
Okay,
there's
okay.
like one I'm happy. That's it. Like there's nothing
Not like,
else. Like there's a
oh,
million other ways.
congratulations.
Yeah, there's a million other ways to say it, but nobody uses that anymore in conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably a part of it is like, you know, you can't ignore the fact that we communicate more through text and video. So I think if there's someone who's, and you know, we tend to, kind of what we were talking about earlier with celebrity, like we tend to focus and watch the same people in like in mass. So like if we're all hearing the same
En
person
masse,
talk,
that's a big word, dude.
yeah, there you
We
go.
don't use that.
But so yeah, but I think part of it is because we're all listening to the same people, and so we all,
Yeah.
you know, tend to like adopt the same habits of them in a way, and you know, it's like it's kind of like you know you maybe just to kind of like iterate what I'm trying to say, like people, you know, people never used to be like, oh, they're a conspiracy theorist, like, and now everyone's says, oh, so and so is a conspiracy theorist. That never used to be a thing. So it's like once something's trending on Google, then like everyone starts to say that, and I think a lot of times that at first they're like, oh, I sound intelligent by saying this, but then it's like, no, you sound
Yeah.
dumb because everyone's saying that. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
yeah.
part of it. But I will say, like, I was talking to my mom the other day, and I was like, dude, like, someone I know in my family, they were like, man, they kept mispronouncing words over break when I was hanging out with them. And they used to read a lot, dude. Like, a lot. Always reading. I was like, how are they messing up words and, like, always asking me how to spell shit? Like, how did that happen?
Well,
It's like, I
well,
guess
what you're
also-
saying is rooted in white supremacy, so you need to stop where you're at there, dude.
You're ahead. You're misogynistic. But I've noticed that with a lot of people. A lot of my friends will be like, hey, dude, how do you spell this word? It's like, well,
Yeah.
first of all, just type it in and it'll autocorrect. That's how you got to this point in the first place. But, like, here, I'll spell it for you. And then they'll, like, challenge me. I'm like, dog, I...
Bro, I went to
I'll tell
second
you,
grade.
but I
I'll
don't
tell
know how
you,
to
it's
spell
right.
it. I'm just like, I mean, why are you even asking me? Like, we were playing this man, dude, I cannot remember the example, but we were playing this game where each person gets like a like an erase, like this flip book, like a race board thingy.
Oh, I
and
know what
you-
game you're talking about. I love that game.
Yeah. So somebody like had a word and they were like, oh, the word was blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, that's a real word, but that's not what the word was. Like, how the fuck did you mess that up? Like, now I understand why you suck at this game.
Oh, wow.
But it's just funny because, like, I've noticed that, and I used to be, and to an extent I still am, but I just kind of got over it. I used to be you know, a grammar World War II bad guy. You know?
Nice.
I used to be that guy who would always correct people, and then everyone got mad, and I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm over this. Like, I'll stop. But,
Just like, well, if you didn't suck so much, I wouldn't have to do it.
yeah, and it's like, man, like, I actually care about, like, preserving, like, the
White supremacy. I get it. I get it. Okay, I understand. You need to go to sensitivity training.
Yeah, I'm being a total douchebag for correcting people with their wrongs, but it's like, it's just like, man, I've just noticed, like, people are not good, and they don't care either. It's like the same
Yeah.
thing with a lot of things. They're just like, well, I've got autocorrect, and it's like, okay,
Yeah, they just don't
whatever.
give a shit.
Have fun.
It's a losing battle, unfortunately.
Wait till your conscience is uploaded in the cloud, and then they'll realize you're a worthless human being because you don't know how to spell, and you'll be the first one that they terminate. When they analyze your brain folds, they'll see that you really don't have much going on, and you're deplorable. Like, they don't know the difference between 2, 2, and 2. Exterminate them.
Embarrassing.
How do you think?
Well,
Say they,
I don't know.
but-
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
That's kind of how I thought.
How do you
I was-
think-
how do you think? Just
No,
do.
I am, therefore I am, or something. Something like that. But no, what I was gonna say is, how do you suspect and I hate to say they, but how do you suspect they will convince people to upload their brains into a cloud? Like, what tactic and, like, marketing scheme do you think will be employed, or, like, deployed to, like, convince people, yeah, this is a good idea, and, like, masquerade it in a way, you know?
Immortality.
You think that's what? I don't know if a lot of people want
It's
to.
like, yeah, if you die, then we'll just re-download your brain, and yeah, I think a lot of people would. But well, that's my working theory on Mark of the Beast. Is it's going to be some sort of do this and you'll gain immortality through AI or whatever, because it's really going to challenge your faith, basically. So it's like, okay, I know your religion says you'll have eternal life, but we'll actually give it to you. And how many people would be like, oh, okay. You just throw it in the trash. Like, that's kind of my working theory.
I don't.
Now, it's like, it's not going to get
that,
me,
but
and
I
it may
don't
not
know if I
get
agree.
you, but just think of how many people do you know would get.
Well,
And-
so that's what I was gonna say. Is I don't think there's that many people that want to live forever. Honestly,
Really?
I don't know. We'd have to do a survey, but I think I would suspect most people would not want to live forever. Either because they're like, what? I'm gonna be destroying the environment the rest of my life. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, or
Interesting,
just the fact that, like,
interesting.
I don't think a lot of people want to be immortal, honestly. Like, ask anybody, like, what superpower would you most want? I don't think most people would want immortality.
Well, it's kind of boring if we get any superpower, you know. Just saying. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd rather be able
survey.
to fly.
Yeah, respond to us in the
Would
chat
you want
or
to be
whatever.
immortal?
Would you accept immortality? In
Like, even secular people, I don't think would. I don't
interesting.
even think.
You raise a good point. I could be wrong.
But I don't know.
People may, yeah. If that's the case, then I have to rethink my theory. I've assumed people do want that. Secular people do want that. Now maybe the new agey spirituality resurgence that's come up has made people second guess that, but I don't know.
Because it's like, think about it. Okay, from a religious point of view, like, that's a freaky idea, and it's like, unless you could somehow justify, like, oh, maybe that's what God meant by, like, heaven and like eternal life is like we'll invent it. Some people might think that. I don't agree with that, but I'm just saying could be a theory that people who are Christian have. But oh shoot. But then as far as like from a secular point of view, again, like I kind of said this earlier, but like I think people would be like, well, if we're all immortal forever, then we're gonna destroy the environment, and like I care so much about that. And that again, I feel like I reference this book a lot, and I have not read it all the way, but like Scythe, that book, like that's a problem that they sort of discuss. Is like once we get to a point of immortality, people are gonna have to be hired like as a special class to kill people, and that'll be like a job. Is like we need to kill you, and the reason is because we don't have resources enough to sustain all these people. I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm curious now. I'll have to find out.
I'll actually finish the book and let you know. Yeah, I'm gonna put this bait down.
What was that book called again?
Scythe, like a
Okay, yeah.
scythe. You know, like what the Reaper uses.
Yours.
It's like I said, I'm not. I started it a long time ago, and I don't really even remember how far I am in it. But the concept is really sick. Like it's a very interesting. I guess it's sci-fi technically. Dude, there's this book that I. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Nothing. I'm out of healing items, but I don't know.
Well, there's this book that I'm trying to. I've got blue mushrooms and like herbs if you need it. I can give you some, I think.
I'm gonna hit up the base camp real quick.
Okay, go for it. But there's this book, called like. Oh shit, what's it called? It's by R.A. Lafferty. It's like Past Master, and I have it on audiobook. But I hate audiobook. The only reason I have it, like, shout out to my sister, when I did fall off the cliff and bust myself up, she got me like an Audible and got me like credit, like a couple credits to get some books, which is nice of her. But I just, dude, I cannot do.
I
Like,
can't
I
focus.
listen to books. It's
yeah.
so fucking hard for me to digest what they're talking about. Like, I really need to see it. And so, anyways, so I got it on there, and I was like trying to listen to it. I was like, man, I cannot follow along. And so I've been like asking like bookstores they have. Dude, I can't find it. I don't know why.
Censorship.
Like
Censorship.
And, like, people don't. Seriously, I don't know if it is, but it's like the premise of the book is like I think twice now in the book. Like it's like in the year like 2335 or something, and essentially like the Earth has been destroyed twice. So this is like the third
Twice,
try
damn.
of, like, restoring humanity or something, and I don't know how that could be controversial, but I can't find it. Even like this little bookstore that's down the street from me that has like all like the most random books. Like it's where I found the Martian Chronicles and got all these like random sci-fi books that I've just never heard of. They didn't have it, and then they were like, we'll order it for you, and then they were like, oh, actually the place that we order stuff from, they don't have it. I was like, yeah, I don't know why this book is like off limits. It's very weird. He's limping, by the way.
He's a gimpin'. We're gonna get him this time. I'm surprised it's taking us so long. Dude, are you pulling your weight over there? You got a fire
Probably,
hammer?
probably not. No, I think I have ice. He's weak to fire.
According to the Googles.
The goo goo. I don't know. I just this hammer's like my best one at the moment, so I just had it equipped and.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Whoa.
Hey! I'm gonna give you a
Hey,
thumbs up, even though...
Steve.
Okay, no, I'm just giving you a thumbs up. You earned it, dude.
I wish you could maybe you can do like custom stickers and stuff that you can send to people.
Pretty sure
really
you can.
cool.
And of course, I get the golden orb that I had to fight like 10 of them to get. I don't need it now, thank you. Freaking ass. I'm never playing. I'm uninstalling. I'm going back to Unite.
Bullied.
And it took us freaking 25 minutes. That guy is a bastard. Like, he's the only one that I just don't like fighting. Everybody else gets a pass. I'll even fight, like, the boss we're gonna fight. However many 100 ranks from here. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, this guy just like there's some moves he has that seem very unavoidable.
Yeah. I think most people would agree with us.
It's because he's like huge, man.
He's big. He doesn't move in a normal pattern, and then he's got some things that just.
And his tail just pops up out of the ground. It's like, where did that come from?
I'd rather fight a Rajang.
Ranging.
Ooh, you're
can you just leave me for one
43.
moment?
Nice.
I have to wee. I'm 40. What?
I'll allow it. You're hunt rank
I'm not-
43.
It says I'm hunter rank 7.
Well, what the hell? It said 43 on my screen. You guys seen it?
Oh, what? I don't know.
I don't
Hold on.
know.
Give me a sec. I have to pee.
Where'd he go? dybpodcast@gmail.com or mightycornpoppers.com@gmail.com. I'm trying to work on getting some new stuff up. This is a free overlay, but my sister's gonna work on it good. She's good with the stuff. All I told her is we need a corn-based theme. We do a podcast on Fridays for sure when we're not streaming. Tune in, take requests. Everybody that's requested a topic, we have done. Get in now while we actually can pay attention to all of you. If there's games we need to play, let us know. We just like to play this one. Be streaming Elden Ring soon. Just telling the fans we're probably gonna play. May play with Bobby the Legend. Elden Ring when that comes out in February, if I can get my hands on an Xbone or whatever the newest Xbox is called. I just can't keep up with things. And now that I got a capture device, why not? See if we can get him on.
I need to get a capture device. I really need to get one. But
Price point's steep, but it's easy to. I don't know.
What?
That seems expensive for. It was 180 for the one that I got. It just seems a bit much for what it does. It's nice,
Yeah.
but
I mean, there are competitors that I think are a lot cheaper, but I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this, and from what I've researched, it's like their software is just really good, and it's like super user friendly. I think everything else is just like harder to maneuver.
All right, I'm actually gonna buy stuff this time. We get some this and a little bit of that. What are we fighting?
A Tigrex. I know you love fighting.
Is he weak to fire or lightning?
I think he's weak to. It looks like thunder and dragon. Let me make sure I'm looking at Monster Hunter World though. I don't know if they're or I mean Monster Hunter. What's this one called? Rise. I don't know if it makes a difference like between games.
Oh, I gotta. This is probably my best weapon, so I'm bringing it. I don't think they are. I think there's some that change a little bit. But...
Yeah, it looks like I think it's thunder and dragon. So
this is my favorite weapon so far that I have. It's the Zenogre, the Janogwa weapon.
Damn, dude, I like don't have stuff that's like very far upgraded. I feel like, but whatever.
Yeah, okay. Make me carry the load. That's fine.
No, Tigrex, I can beat the crap out of this guy pretty well. I think. I don't want to.
You just jinxed it. All right. I predict 2 faints for Max.
Hey.
I do.
Don't talk to your.
I stand by it.
Don't wish that on your fellow hunter.
You brought it upon yourself. He's one of the ones I do like to fight with a greatsword, just because I do know him so well. I know when I can smack him in the face. Although, I guess they changed him a little bit, so... He's a little more crazy. I don't know if you've fought one yet.
I have fought one. Yeah, he's...
He's a little more... I feel like, I don't
active.
know. In the old game, it was just like he would charge at you, and then he would do the 360 move, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not too bad. Let's see if I beat that Rajang.
Shoot some rocks at you.
I guess I didn't. I probably did. Yeah, I didn't successfully fight him. We could fight him next, actually. Dude, I did fight that ice guy, like the plus rank or whatever.
Gusarang.
Man, he does a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't have too much health, I don't think. Or like defense, one of the two. But he is terrifying to fight.
Taking all my stuff. Come on. I need it because I never bring my stuff. Whatever, I'm going to beat you there. I'm going to use my base camp, fast travels.
I don't need no fast travel. I got Sonic the Hedgehog dog.
I got Carl's Jr. boy.
That does travel through your system pretty quick, so.
I have the Hardys. I think I had that on my mind. Just Aaron saying I have the Hardys, and I was like, I should name my guy Hardys. It's a good name.
Oh man, I beat you to him. Just saying.
Your days are numbered.
I have the Hardys. Man, we had some classic shit we came up with back in the day.
I think I've dissected that one. I think it was like I already had Hardys and I'm hungry. I have the Hardys. Or he was gonna say I hate Hardys, but who hates Hardys? I don't understand that. So
Jesus Christ.
all right,
dude,
there's one
right.
down. There's one down, boys.
Oh my gosh, that is so sad. That's sad. Man, dude, there's just so... Okay, I know I've said this as a joke, but I am being 100% serious that I kind of do hunt better, like, when I'm by myself, I think.
Wow.
It's because, like...
Blame
blame
me,
I
see.
It's all your fault, dude.
Don't you fight with your Palico and a cat? Or a Palico and a what's it called? Palamute?
Okay, and a Palamute. Okay, yeah, but who doesn't?
It's the same... Okay, that's bullshit, Tigrex.
My cat screws them up, dude. He's like a trapping cat. He traps. Trap house remix. And so he like dude, he'll like tether them, and they just can't. It's so sick, dude. My cat's pretty dope. Can I switch, like, instead of having when me and you go on these, like having the dog? Can I switch to having the cat instead?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you can.
I mean, I probably won't.
But then you don't get
'cause
to run.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's really convenient.
But I
having
do
this
see a
dog.
handful online that bring cats. So.
I mean, the cats are like more utilitarian as far as like fighting goes, but
Oh, they only care about the greatest good? Okay.
the
I
greatest
see.
good.
Yeah, that's utilitarianism.
Yeah,
I
I only
understand.
care about what works the best, not equality or equity or whatever they're using these days.
Rawr.
Trap House remix.
Yo, 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 yo. We gotta do a podcast where you make music live. That'd be great. Fans would love it.
I am down for that. I am really down. I think this weekend I'm actually gonna buy some more hardware, cause here's the thing, man. Is like, I don't know how much you've like researched like I don't know how much you know about like music production. I'm not saying I know a lot, but
A little
what
bit.
I've gathered is everyone is into this whole DAW thing and like making everything from a computer, and I like
Yeah.
cannot stand it. Like I even bought Ableton, hardly ever use it, and it was like it's expensive as fuck, so I kind of regret buying that. But like recently, or not recently, but like from the jump when I realized I didn't like working on a computer, I've been like, you know, more interested in hardware, and so I bought an MC707, which is really cool and it's pretty capable of a lot of things. But just like recently, I've been looking at like just like 100% DAW-less setups,
Interesting.
and it's not difficult. So I think this weekend, tomorrow, I think I'm actually gonna maybe buy some new hardware, but I don't know, man. This whole like, it's like everybody in the music industry that I've, like, you know, I don't know if music industry is but any people that I know who make music, I'll ask them questions because they're more like weathered than me in certain aspects, and all their advice that they give me all has to do with DAW stuff. And I'm like, dude, I'm just not doing that, so I can't really like use that information too well.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
kind of
I
lame.
could, but really, yeah. I like having like knobs to twist and like I don't know, man. There's a certain aspect to having, because like people, you know, who use DAW and like don't like hardware. Pretty much everyone that I've talked to, they're all like, "Oh, you're more limited, and like you can do everything that you need to in a DAW, and like you just need to learn how to do it." And it's like,
Well, that's
I
the thing
kinda
is like,
the limiting nature of the hardware.
yeah, because then it comes down to actually ability and talent.
I mean, maybe, but I was thinking more along the lines of like, it like kind of inspires you to have, you know, you're working within limits.
You can be
So you
more
kinda, like,
creative, yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't know what the paradox is called, but it's like when you have everything at your fingertips, like it's hard to figure out what to do. I don't know if there's a paradoxical name for that, but it's like, it goes for like any creative art. It's like, you know, sky's the limit literally, so it's like, what am I gonna do? I don't even know where to begin, and it's like overwhelming. Kind of like, you know, just being able to research everything in the world with Google, but then it's like sensory overload sort of thing. So I like having the limitation of like, and you know, the MC707 that I have, it's limited, but there's a lot in there still. So it's like I've had to, you know, had to do a lot of upfront research just to figure out how to work the thing. And now that I've got that down, it's like I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. But I wanna have another piece of hardware that I can connect up to it and use it as like the master clock, and then, you know, fidget with another thing on the side. Well, I don't know. And so I've been looking into like DAW-less setups, and this guy that I've watched, he's been helping me a lot on YouTube.
I think it's with the DAW stuff, like it loses its life when
do you
like having all the fancy stuff where, I don't know, you can just plug in like a drum beat or a cool sound or whatever, and it's perfect. It's perfectly. There's two boys. Oh, that didn't count. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh my gosh, I'm so pitiful. in this
But like
game.
when everything's lined up and perfect, it lacks character. There's
I
no.
agree.
Son of a
Hey
bitch.
now.
Damn it.
Hey now. Watch yourself, buddy. No, I'll take blame for this whole loss too. The ball. Yeah, and I think another thing is like, since everyone is using, FL Studio or Ableton,
Everything's gonna sound the
everyone's
same.
technique is all the same. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, cool, but like if you want to make any mark, you sort of have to do something outside of the norm, in my opinion at least.
Well, that's the weird thing we have going on where it's like somebody does something awesome and then a million other people just try and copy it. But
I mean, I think it's always been like that, but it's just more accessible now.
yeah, well, I think my point is like realize the most successful are the ones that actually blaze that trail. So take risks, people. Be original.
Would you say it's still like that? Because I mean,
Oh, for
a
sure.
lot of the artists are okay. All right, I'll agree to that. I think. But yeah, I mean, it's like, and God bless them. Like, if they're listening to this podcast, like, I'm not trying to smack talk them, but like my friends that I've asked advice, like, they're all like, okay, use Ozone and like use this, and like they kind of lay it out for me, and I'm like, bro, like everyone's doing that. I don't know if I want to do that.
Oh, you gotta stand out. Stand out from the crowd, dude.
Plus, I even if it never goes anywhere, like I just enjoy.
Well, that's
using
the
hardware
key
a lot
part.
better.
Is just, yeah, you do you and you do what you think sounds good.
Right.
But then you have to be okay if everybody hates it.
Well, I mean, it's not like the sound quality and like the fidelity of my stuff. I mean, like mastering is something I'm still kind of working on, but like when I'm actually making music, I'm like, it doesn't sound bad. In fact, like I think it sounds better. I mean, I'm making electronic music. It's kind of niche, but it's just like, I don't know, man. This sounds really sick. Like using a sequencer is a lot of fun, and then having like, I mean, all I have is like I have a sequencer, and then I've got like a little keyboard tied up to it, so I can control the sounds, and it's like, it's a lot. It's so fun, dude. It's so fun, and I'm learning new stuff about how to, like, I can utilize my MC707. I'm like learning more and more about it pretty much every day. So
Yeah, it's like it's more fun. Like, here's what you got. Now, make something out of it. Versus,
yeah.
I don't know. It just leads to more interesting stuff, in my opinion.
I think so too. But I mean, there are some. I mean, a lot of musicians nowadays, like, all they use is DAW, and like they do make really interesting stuff. But it's like, do I want to learn how to use a DAW, or do I want to learn how to use like a machine that I can interact with, like without having to click a mouse? It's like I would much rather learn like an actual instrument than a DAW. I don't know.
I mean, I'm in that camp too. Now, my real question is, do I want to buy a bass? Because Davey504 told me to buy a bass.
Yeah, dude, and you gotta
Slap the bass. What's
That
up,
dude's sick.
slappers? I don't know. I really don't even care about bass, but I enjoy his videos a lot.
I have always wanted to learn bass, and I'm not saying this because of Davey504, because of slapping. I've always been like so enthralled by like Flea and like the Wooten brothers. Well, one of them, I can't remember which Wooten brother is like the bass player, the other one's a guitar player, but I'm like, dude, that sound is just so sick.
Yes, sir. I think it's... How did he fall in the hole? Did you do that? Or did a cat do that? Did you bring a cat? How did he fall in the hole? What happened?
Lee, we're streaming. Thanks for the Qdoba. Well, there was like a stone. There was like a rock and I think Tigers broke it and it caused that vortex.
Oh.
Yeah, it was interesting. My dad just brought me some Qdobes. Stoked about that.
That is a hot topic of debate, by the way. There's Qdoba,
Qdoba,
Chipotle. I don't know if you guys have it there, but we have Moe's as the third wheel.
Oh yeah. Well, there's also one. I don't think Moe's is around here, but there's also oh, what's that place called? It's like Rubio's.
Rubio's.
It's not really like the same setup where it's like cafeteria style or whatever, but it's like burritos and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's another one I think too, but Rubio's is mostly like I think West Coast. And there's another one I cannot think of, but I mean, okay, I'll say I think Chipotle tastes the best, but it really upsets my stomach the most.
Oh boy, South Park made a great episode about that. So can't remember
really?
the episode. Yeah, it was like a Billy Mays kind of making fun of him episode. Billy Mays here, and it was called this Chipotle way, and it would clean the bloodstains out of your underwear after you ate Chipotle.
Ew. Okay.
So is
I'm
that's the
screaming
thing? Is
you're live.
welcome to the Mighty Corn Poppers.
Featuring Max's mom.
But I never understood Chipotle because they didn't have, at least maybe they've changed, but they don't have queso. Or like
They have it now. A lot of people don't really like it though. They think it's like chalky.
That was my biggest hang up. Flavor wise, I don't know. I'd have to do like a taste test.
I don't know. I mean, dude, Chipotle's barbacoa is pretty fire. Like it honestly, it's pretty damn good, but without fail, every time I eat it, like within 10 minutes, I'm like in the bathroom for about 20 minutes. I'm just like, dude, I don't know if it was worth it.
You got sensitive tummy.
I do. I mean, admittedly, I do, but Chipotle just really like screws it up. And there was a phase where I was just eating it all the time, and I was like, man, I really hate myself. Like, how am I? Why do I keep doing this? And it's annoying because so when I first had Chipotle, I was like, okay, pretty good. And then, you know, I had to face facts and just realize that it was not good for me in that sense. And then I moved in with one of my buddies, and he would eat it all the time. So I like fell back. Like I didn't eat it for like years, and I would shit talk it all the time. And then he was like, dude, no, let's go get Chipotle. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. And then I kept falling for the trap. And then since I moved out living with him, I was like, all right, I'm not eating this place anymore. And I think I've had it like once in the last like year and a half, or maybe like year, but I don't plan on going back to it anytime soon.
I feel like I need to give it one more shot.
That's how they get you, bro.
So I can properly shit on it, cause like I had it once, and it wasn't like bad. I was just like, I don't get the cult following here. Like it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
That's what happened to me, and then I fell for the trap, and I was like a fanatic. But I mean, I think the big appeal is that, like I said, there's a lot of flavor in it. You get like a big meal, and I mean, obviously prices are going up just across the board, but it was like, you know, $8-9 for like a full bowl, depending on like what meat you got, which is like pretty damn. It's like cheaper than McDonald's, man.
No shame.
I don't know if it still is, but I know at one point it was owned by McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it still is, but. McDonald's is trash, though. Oh my god.
How dare you?
I can't tell if you're being serious.
Okay. I would just say fast food's pretty much trash, but if I'm gonna have fast food, that's what I'm gonna. Well, I don't know. Toss up between Taco Bell. Wendy's fucked their shit up, man. Wendy's used to be.
You have like a vendetta against them, but
they had the best burgers. Now their fries were ass and always have been, and that's fine. Now actually, they've improved a little bit lately. But
Ah,
no, their burgers
yeah,
were
Wendell's.
so good, and I think it's whenever they switched them to like the super square burgers, like really thick and square. Like they used to be kind of square, but like I don't know, like Culver's kind of thickness wise, and they were kind of salty and they were delicious. But now I feel like they've switched the oil and put
Mhm.
less salt on it. I think that's my theory of what happened.
They do put like a decent amount of mayo. Like they actually have like the perfect. I think that might be why I like them so much. They have like the perfect like sauce proportions.
Now, I will
I'm
give
huge
them
on the
that
sauces.
because the reason today that I put mayonnaise on my burger is because of Wendy's. So they know it's
Yeah,
up there. I don't know
they do the
what they
sauce
did,
very
man.
well. But well, there are memes like like it's the dark. It was like the dark ages ever since they went from the yellow Wendy's or something like that. So
I don't know,
you're not
man.
alone. But I don't know, man. I love Wendy's. Like I really like Wendy's.
Now, when
Like
I
McDonald's,
talk
dude.
McDonald's, I'm talking double quarter pounder with cheese. Everything else is pretty much ass, but
Ah, man, I just can't. I can't agree, man.
can we at
Because
least agree that Burger King is
oh,
that name
ew,
is embarrassing?
it is. I don't know how are they even. I don't know how they're in business. Who goes there? I went there. My buddy was visiting me out here, and we made a last minute decision to go to Burger King. I was totally against it. Like, dude, I think this is a horrible idea, and we did it, and we were both just like, what in the f are we eating, dude? Like,
There's nothing good about
so
that place.
gross. It's disgusting. They used to kind of have this like char burger taste to them, and now they're
Yeah,
just like, it's like, I can't even explain. It tasted like trash, dude.
yeah.
Like I felt like I was eating trash.
And their fries suck. The stores are dirty. It's the worst place I could imagine.
The guy that served me, like bless his soul, he had like dirt all under his fingernails. I was like,
Ooh,
oh god,
nice.
this is setting the stage real well right now. But no, yeah, Burger King's trash. I think Wendy's is the best. McDonald's, my thing with McDonald's is like their pricing does not justify like or the quality doesn't justify the pricing, dude.
Well, that's kind of my
Every
qualm with Wendy's, though. It's like if I want, so I used to be able to get like the triple for $5. Now it's probably gonna cost me $10, and they've made it worse. So
But man, but McDonald's, like I think, and it's not like I'm just getting. I don't know. I'll get like a the quarter pounder. Even if I just get the quarter pounder meal, I feel like it's like $13. And
oh
I'm like,
no, yeah, and unfortunately I think that's everywhere.
ugh.
And now I don't know about Chipotle, but like, yeah, like if we eat at Moe's, it's $25 for two of us.
It's
But
insanity.
but but then it also costs that much for McDonald's, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it used to be affordable, man. I don't know. Now it's just. I mean, it's still. I guess. I don't know. It's
I used to
affordable.
be
I
able to
wouldn't
eat at
call it
Wendy's
affordable.
for $3.11.
But then, like,
Double
what
stack was a
exactly were you
dollar,
eating
and the
though?
oh, shh. We don't talk about that.
What
It's not
exactly were
necessary.
you eating?
Go with the double stack,
Dude, it's
kind of
crazy when. What the?
the double stack used to be a dollar. It's just as good as the classics, just not as big. Frosty fry, perfect. $3.
Oh, their frosties were fire. I haven't had one in a while. But
Those are still
that
good.
shit was slip worthy. I mean, man, it's just crazy though when you like look at what the FDA has approved for food consumption. It's and think that like people put all this trust in these government institutes. It's like, dude, they're letting you eat cancer pretty much. Like, why would you trust that? And they don't even tell you. They're just like, yeah, acceptable, whatever. It's like, yeah, we put cancer in our food to make it look the right color. Like, why? If you didn't
Yeah.
like do that trick in the beginning, none of us would have like would have questioned, you know? Like we wouldn't have been like this should be yellow. Like we would have just been like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's a blue burger. That's fine. Fine with us. It's good.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know if I think your sister once when she was working at Subway told me that like they use like some sort of paint on the chicken to make it look like it's grilled. I mean, they're not the ones sitting there painting it, but she was like, yeah, they use like some coloring thing to make that
Yep,
look
says
grilled.
on the
And I'm just
box, grill
like, what
marks
the fuck,
added.
dude?
That was like, so
I
that
can't
was
tell
like
if you're
a,
joking or
no,
not, but
that's what it says
are
on
you
the box,
serious?
grill marks added. We don't grill those. We just
Ew,
toss
what
them in
the
some hot water
hell?
until they're the right temperature. That's it.
I mean, I know, but like, do they were? Ugh. You would think they were grilled in a factory and then sent out like to just be like reheated. But
You'd think that. But no, we
oh
don't.
my
No, no,
gosh,
no.
dude, what an atrocity, bro! What a sin.
That's what I wanted. I had an idea for like a series for our when we do our podcast episodes. Is bring somebody in that's worked somewhere. Now we'll have to disguise the name slightly, but make it obvious where they
Put
worked.
that voice thing over like.
I
Put a
worked at
voice
this
thing over
place
their voice.
because like I've got the inside scoop on Annie and Subway and Taco Bell. But then, and
You
I
worked
think,
at Taco Bell?
oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. What do you want to know?
Is it? Do they really use dog meat or whatever?
Okay, can't
Or
confirm or deny because it came in a bag with that stuff, so I don't know where it came from. I wish I could confirm that rumor.
I mean, but
let's
so
see
you couldn't read like the grading of the meat on the bag. They didn't have that on there.
I didn't care enough at the time because I was younger. I was just happy to have a job.
Yeah. You're like, hey man, I don't like that we're using this shit meat, and they're like, all right, you're fired, dude.
So let's see, the beans are powdered. We add water. The red sauce is powdered. We add water.
And then they ball up. Wait, the beans. Oh, because the beans are like refried.
Yeah, the refried beans are, I guess, freeze dried or whatever.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the steak and chicken is actually real and cooked somewhere else. It's not fresh, but it's real. The dog food, not sure. Let's see what else is there. Potatoes are frozen. Everything. Yeah, the Fiesta potatoes. They're little square potatoes. Never had
Never
those.
had those.
No.
No, I just get like Crunchwrap Supreme or the chalupas.
Okay, Crunchwrap Supreme. We fucking hate making them. Thanks a lot. I
They
remember
do
when
look
they were
pain in the
invented,
ass.
and it sucked.
They're fire though, dude. Whoa, this guy's in here? I didn't know he was in this game.
The weird part is, it's not who you think it is. It's not Sergio's.
Oh, it's not?
It's some fired dude. Like, I've never actually fought him in a quest. He's just been like in like group quests.
I think they're coming out with an update, like this summer or something.
Is it free or is that paid?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering too. I don't think there's even like enough information out on that.
Dude, this guy's fucking this guy up. Get him, get him, get him.
Why do they turn? What is up with like when they glow like that? Is it kind of like a?
I think it's like a debuff of some sort.
I thought it was like a buff.
Oh, I hope it's not a buff. Oh shit.
Well, because there's like on this quest, there's like he's like not frenzy, but he's like something, you know.
Well, if it kills you, we'll know. Do they have frenzy in this game?
No. You know, that's what I was saying. I think it's something similar, but it's not the same. I'll look at it. It's in the quest name. I can't remember. It's like Rampage or some shit.
Not the Apex thing.
I don't know. I'll check. Oh shit! Where did you cut his tail off? Oh, I see it.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, I totally
I
forgot.
always forget. Honestly, Taco Bell was one of the more... At least the one I was at was pretty clean. Also, your what are they called? The little cinnamon things.
Oh, the cinnamon twist.
They're just like
I love
fried
those.
spiral noodles. Like we just throw those in the fryer.
Well, yeah, I mean that's
Also, that was like
that
the
would
one
be a
thing
cool,
they're like,
cool
if you
segment.
piss off a customer, just give them some of those cinnamon twists. It's like,
Yeah, I think
okay.
I've gotten free ones before.
Oh, so apparently it works.
For like
Like
a
these things
messed
are
up order
shitty.
or something. I think they're so good.
That's-
But that honestly, I like the idea of that segment. Hey, don't forget to carve. But I actually really like that idea for a segment. That's like a really cool
I think
idea.
my wife worked at Starbucks. Brooke also worked at Subway. And then
But
I can.
I haven't really worked at like a.
That's
I
a
don't think I've worked
shame.
at a place like that.
Where's the freaking tail, dude?
Do you want me to show you? Or you can zoom
Oh.
in, I think, on the map, and it'll show you.
Oh, I think I subconsciously carved it when we were fighting. My bad. It's
Very
happened.
good. No, I mean I've worked in the restaurant industry like a lot.
But it could also
I've
be retail too, anything really.
holy shit, I did work at Marshall's. That place was so depressing, bro.
Is he down here? Marshall. Oof.
So depressing, dude. Like just dim lighting, like everything about it is just awful. The managers were such pricks. Like took it way too seriously. I'm like, dude, you're working at
Marshalls.
no offense to anyone, but I'm just like, man, it was like soul sucking, bro. Like very soul sucking.
And that's what, because I never worked retail. I only worked fast food, and I said it was horrible. But from what I hear, retail's even worse.
No, retail's the worst, dude. It's so it is like wow, dude. Like I've seen people online, like on my Facebook, they're like, hey, I'm thinking of working either like restaurant or retail. Which one should I do? And I will comment and be like, do not work retail, like anything but. Seriously, like save your soul. It's garbage. And I'm sorry if listeners are listening and they're working there, but it's like,
well,
dude,
then they'll just be like, yeah, you're right, dude.
and I'm sure there's some people that like it, and like
No.
maybe it's it fits some people, but dude, it's just like it's so I don't even want to get into it. It's very it's very
so
bad. It's so duh. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure like out of all the retail, Marshalls is probably like the lowest on the totem pole to work for. But like I worked seasonally, I got hired seasonally. It was in college, and so I told them like, hey, winter breaks up, and I'm going home for break. They're like, well, you realize we hired you for seasonal, so if you leave, like, there's not going to be an opportunity for you to work full time. And I was like, that is okay. I'll figure it out. Restaurant, I don't know, man. Restaurant industry, I actually I enjoy it. I liked working restaurant.
I think, and when I look back on it, like, holy shit. Because I worked at Annie Ann's Taco Bell in a place that was basically Papa Murphy's. Which is like where they don't make your pizza. They just put it together, and then you take it home and make it. But of all those, it wasn't a big deal. Like, the big hang up with Taco Bell was just how much shit people would order, and it was fucking annoying. But Subway is the pinnacle of horribleness. Whoever thought, like, let the customer build their thing, let them decide what they want, was the worst decision you could possibly make. And I think that's why nobody else does it, because it is horrible beyond description.
Well, honestly, I think to date, I think Subway's like the number one. Like, they have the most locations of any fast food.
I believe it.
Or they're up there, like.
I think they are. I mean, there's nobody close.
I mean, Starbucks.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
There's a lot of Starbucks. Which, dude, that is like a very sad thing. Is like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna speak on like sandwich shops and stuff because I don't know, but like, it's kind of sad to me that like, I mean, Starbucks seems to be a decent place to work at, like, but it's like it kind of gets rid of like, I I don't know. It's like monopolized the coffee culture, and I love coffee shops.
Yeah, but I feel like coffee shops thrive. I think it's just, you know, basic people like Starbucks. And it's like, okay, dude. Okay, chick, whatever.
All right, white girl.
But yeah, people that actually like coffee, I don't know anyone that's like, yeah, dude, Starbucks, yeah.
Yeah, I like going to like local
Yeah.
vibey places. Sorry, I'm stuffing my fat face.
I was like, you could honestly make a "This happened to me at Subway" podcast that would never end. And it's only like I don't have a lot of stories from the other places. It was just like we made shit, and that was it. Oh, freaking Rajong! Hold on, what's he weak to?
Yeah, I don't know what he's weak to. Like people of Subway, like kind of like people of Walmart.
I mean, it's the
think
same kind of deal. Yeah.
Is he weak to ice?
He is weak to. Yes. Good call. You're the winner.
Ding ding ding. Okay, well, my hammer that I have that's really good is an ice weapon, so.
Right. Do I have? Oh, I have a good one, I think. I have an okay one. Alright, we'll bring it. We're bringing it. I don't know what it is. If it's just letting people think for themselves for an extended period of time. Like, it's hard enough for people just functioning at the register. But give them... like...
Well, it goes back to like what I was saying before. Like when you have unlimited options, you don't know where to start.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the problem. Because half the people that come in, it's like they've never been to a Subway, and they really don't know how to function. They're like, I don't know, stuff.
And then they'll be like, "What do you recommend?" You recommend it, and they're like, "Okay, well, I'll get," and it's like something completely different.
Oh yeah.
Why did you even ask me that?
Pretty standard. I think my highlight story I usually tell is this lady that came in. It's just weird, and she was worried about the bread not being soft enough. And then we went through this whole thing of me letting her touch the bread, which pretty much I had to throw out afterwards. And she settled on a good one. I was like, thank God. And I asked her if she wanted it toasted, and I thought I was gonna get roasted by her by like, what a stupid ass question. And then she says yes.
No way.
Shit, you not.
Toasting it make it harder, and you're like, like good for it. You're like, what?
Yeah, I'll get that toasted. I was like, holy shit.
So I will say, like, obviously there's like that stereotype of, you know, America's like kind of like these like selfish fat people, gluttonous, like and I don't mean just food wise, just gluttonous in like consumption in general. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get it, but whatever. It's kind of a dumb like critique. But then when people with their food, like, if they're like, this isn't warm enough, like, get me a whole new meal. It's like, dude, do you understand like what it took to get that on your plate? I'm not just talking about from my perspective. Like, there's a farmer, you know, there's like people that package it, people that ship it, and like all this stuff, and you're just gonna throw it out. That's so inconsiderate.
There is starving people in China or Canada, Africa. I don't know. What? That's what you get for shit chalking. No, we don't do that here.
Shit, Jinping is listening.
Get it together. I feel like he does go into rage very quickly these days.
He is yeah.
He spends like most of the fight in rage. It's like, oh, he's out of it. It's like the complete opposite of like normally they're in rage for a bit, It's the opposite with this guy.
He's a prick in this game.
I think one of the worst parts about Subway too is people thinking that getting extra meat and cheese was free, and they would get pissed when you told them it costs extra. It's like, dude, that's our most expensive item we have here. You can't have it for free. Or like the parents that send their kids, they send their kids up to order what they want, and then they actually order what they want, and it's like, that'll be $12, and then the parents come back like, what the fuck? It's like, what am I supposed to say? No.
$5 footlong. How did you spend?
Oh, don't even. Yeah, so that's everything's $5, right? It's like, nope. It's basically the ham, the turkey, the tuna, and that chicken with the fake grill marks. That's $5. Everything else, nope.
They're like, it's got fake grill marks. Yeah, they're like, fuck it.
Or the meatballs from yesterday. Yep.
Oh, dude.
That's $5.
I got a funny Subway story. So
Bring it on.
I was in LA. I was in LA. Where all kill people hang, and I very seldom would go out there. I really don't like LA, and I'm not just saying that to be like edgy. That place is kind of shitty, except whatever. A couple places are alright, but what I'm trying to say is like, so I went with this group because we were going to an escape room, and they had this like bright idea of like, hey, you know, we had a time slot, so it's like we didn't have all night to just do whatever before we went to the escape room, and they were like, let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings, which is I'm not a fan of that place. It's not good. But I was like, all right, whatever. Everybody wants to go here. Let's do it. So we went to Starbucks, or not Starbucks.
Wow. Okay.
Ordered our food. Yeah, I know. Ordered our food. It was like taking them so damn long. Like just taking them forever, and they weren't even that busy. This was like before pandemic shortages of workers. This was just like your everyday whatever. And it kept coming up like, yeah, your food's almost ready, your food's almost ready. And so, you know, in the interim, we all had like I ordered like a beer, and I was like, okay, this is keeping me happy for a minute, whatever. Food took forever. Long story short, they kept coming up, oh yeah, okay, it's almost ready, it's almost ready, it's almost ready. And so like, I kept saying like, guys, we should just figure something else out. Like, we don't have a lot of time. They're like, well, they told us it's almost ready, and whatever. Like, they kept saying that. Yeah. Anyways, long story short, they were like, we're starting to bag it up. And I was just so fed up at this point that I was like, you know what, guys, I am honestly so done with this. So I didn't even pay for my beer or my food. I just left, and I didn't like get the food, right? I just had one beer. I didn't pay for it. I guess that was technically a dine and dash, the only time I've done that. And I was like, whatever, if, you know, the food is like, I'm not getting that food. I'm not gonna fucking wait here and whatever. So I like left, and right next door there was a Subway. And so I was like, I'll just get Subway, whatever. There was this homeless dude that was sitting outside the Subway, and he's like, hey man, like, can you get me food? Okay, number one rule of LA, do not listen to the homeless people. Don't give them anything. I know you want to feel good about yourself and do your good deed for your whole life and like give a penny to a homeless person. It's not worth it. These guys are assholes. So he's like, can you get me a sandwich, man? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Oh.
And he's like, all right, make it a meatball sub. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, no, dude. I was like, you'll have half of whatever I order. Like, I'm not getting a meatball sub, though. I can tell you that much. He's like, come on, man, just give me a meatball sub. I was like, dog, if you want food, like, you'll just take half of whatever footlong I get. I'm not getting a meatball sub. And so he's like bitching at me, like grumbling.
That's hilarious.
So I went in. I'm standing in line, like putting together this sandwich. They had started it, and so then the homeless dude comes in. He goes, dude, here, I have a coupon for a meatball sub. And I was like, dog, I'm not getting a meatball sub. And he's like, bro, it's only $5. I was like, only $5? Bro, do you have any money in your name? And he's like harassing me for a meatball sub. And I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. And I just left. Which, that's the story. I don't know if that was a good story or not, but
It's basically
I
like a double dine and dash there, sort of. You know,
which
you're
I
an
just
asshole. Just kidding.
which I just realized I was like hypocritical. It's kind of hypocritical. So I was just ridiculing people that like get food and then throw it out or whatever, which I kind of did do that. But bro, you gotta understand, I was waiting at B-Dubs for like 2 hours for my food, literally, about 2 hours. I was so hungry, and I was like,
Ow.
and then I was like, fine, whatever, I'll go Subway. It's quick. And then this homeless dude is just harassing me and being an asshole, dude. That was like the day when I was like, I have no sympathy for these fucking homeless people. I'm sorry, but they're all dickheads. And like, my mentality changed did like a 180 on homeless people that night. I was like, I'm over these dumbasses. Like, they probably make more. And then and then if you look up like how much, like the average, I guess you could say, income of a homeless person, I think
Yeah.
on average it's like $40,000, dude, which is
Yeah.
more than a lot of people make, and it's like very sad in my opinion that the world functions like that. But whatever.
Gotta feel good about yourself.
Everybody
Sure, I'll
gets.
give you shit.
Man, I was dating this chick one time that was like, "Oh, I feel so bad for that homeless guy." I was like, "Wait, first of all, no, you don't." She's like, "I wish I had change to give him." I was like, "First of all, no, you don't. And second of all, even if you did, don't do that because it's stupid." She was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, no, these homeless people want to be there. Trust me."
Yeah.
The vast majority of them are like very complacent with that life, and they don't want anything different.
We have somebody that I haven't seen her lately that would panhandle in our town. And there's like a Facebook page where local people just kind of talk about what's going on and like, dude, have you seen that lady that's in there? And like, so many people are like, dude, like I literally offered her a job on the
She
spot
didn't want
and
it.
she said no.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a legend in Irvine called the Irvine Grandma. If you're listening and you're in Irvine and you know what I'm talking about, shout it out. So Irvine, very affluent area. In fact, there's like rumors that anytime they see a homeless person, they just pick them up and ship them to like LA, which I wouldn't doubt. I really would not doubt that's a thing. But there is this lady called the Irvine Grandma, and if you go to UTC, University Town Center, is right across the a bridge from, I don't know if it's like MacArthur. I can't remember what the street is, but it's right across the street from UCI, which is very prestigious school. Okay, so there's this legendary homeless person there called the Irvine Grandma, who's like this old Asian lady. She's probably like in her 80s, who sits in a wheelchair with like stereotypical thing. Sits at UTC in a wheelchair with like a cardboard sign that says like "Please help, anything matters" or whatever.
Yeah.
There was like all of these videos circulating online at one point where people were like, "Do not give this woman money. Like she has like a handler, and she probably isn't even with it mentally. She has like a handler who drops her off here at like midnight and leaves her there till like 2 a.m. to panhandle. And this guy has a car and everything, and it's like his grandma, and he just uses her for money. And you can find a video. I don't remember what it's titled, but like, probably if you type in like Irvine Grandma like panhandler or something, you'll find it, where this guy catches this dude picking up the woman at like 2:30 in the morning, and this guy's like, "Hey, why are you're like abusing this?" That's his elder abuse. Like, you're abusing this woman. Like, why are you faking that she's homeless? And he's like questioning the guy. And while the dude's putting him in her in his Prius, he's like, I'm not." He goes, "You work for Wells Fargo. You're after me. You're trying to get me. You have like a headhunt on me or whatever. Like, you work for Wells Fargo. You work for Wells Fargo. Like, you're trying to kill me."
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Wells Fargo, but
I mean, I wouldn't either, but it's like this dude just like spewing
that's
this
funny.
crazy rhetoric.
Interesting.
And so, dude, no, so the plot thickens. I was with my buddy Garrett, and we were on that street, broad daylight, and we saw this white Prius with that dude in it and his grandma, and it's the same lady. And so I was in the car with him, and I go, "Hey," I go like, "Hey, dude, roll your window down." And the guy rolled his window down. It's the same dude from the video, the same old lady, and he's like, he rolled his window down. I was like, "You're a piece of shit. Like, you abuse your grandma. I've seen the videos. I know what you do." And he goes, "You work for Wells Fargo."
Holy shit. No.
This dude is insane, dude. And I was just like, wow.
You should be like, "Yes, I do work for Wells Fargo. We've been after you for some time. We want you to take out a loan with us."
Yeah. We want you to get in insufferable debt, crushing debt. The videos are real, folks. I've seen the guy. I've interacted with him. He's psychotic, and he abuses this woman. Like, and one time, bro, it's like if you don't know the context. So okay, I got a buddy of mine. He doesn't think through stuff all the time, and I don't think he really cares to. He's kind of wild like that. But one time it was like, you know, because we were at UTC and that grandma was there, and him and I were like discussing the whole thing of like how insane it is that like this guy uses her for that shit. And then while we were talking about her, this like old, you know, this cute little naive girl going and getting her doctorate, probably in a STEM program. She's like comes up and she's like, oh here, and like drops a little bit of change, you know, does a good deed for the day. And my buddy was like, no, do not give her money. Like, she's faking it. And it's like, bro, like, she obviously didn't know the context. And she, like, looked at my buddy. She's like, you're an asshole. And I was like, little does she know that she's being manipulated right now. And it was, like, the most insane thing to witness. Because my buddy just goes after this girl, like, do not give her money. And she's like, you're a dick. like, whatever, Greg, you tried. I'm on your side. I get it.
It's just, it sucks because like there may actually be homeless people, but every time I see them, I'm like, this person is full of shit. I know it.
Yeah, I garner no sympathy.
I think really on it, maybe the trick is like, if you see a homeless person not asking for money, that's the person you give the money.
Maybe
until they catch on to it.
Maybe that's like the new homeless strategy to get, you know. Well, I mean, and another reason I have little to no sympathy for them anymore is because I lived in Huntington Beach, in like a pretty busy intersection. You know, I'm paying like, you know, over $1,000 for this to live in this place. And in the street right behind us, there was just like a gang of homeless people, and they would be like screaming the N-word at like 2 in the morning when I'm trying to sleep. I'm just like,
oh, nice.
Good gravy, bro. And they like like one time I was jogging, and you know it's hot in California, so I had my shirt on, and one of the homeless chicks was like, nobody wants to see your tits, and I was just like, okay. I was like, coming from you, that means nothing. You are disgusting. Like, get out of my face. She'd like mock chase me on like multiple occasions, bro. I'm like, this is why no one likes you guys.
Well, no, that's what you get for having your tits out, dude. Come on, man.
They're like violent people, bro. Like, and they would smoke like crack back there. I'm like, Jesus,
Nice.
why am I paying this much money for this shit? Like, what is wrong with this place? If you got rid of all the homeless people in California, it would be a lot better off. Like, but for some reason, the government, I think, makes money off them or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Federal funds or something. I don't know.
That's Gavin.
Gavin Nuisance. He won't give you a straight answer. Women rule.
It's really funny him being on Women Rule. He was on Adam Carolla early on, before anybody knew really who he was, and he just roasted the shit out of him on his show.
Wait, isn't Adam Carolla like right wing?
I mean, they say that now with anybody, but no, he's pretty much just part of the common sense party. He's just like, well, okay, the shit we're doing in California is not working. Why do we keep doing it? Like, but he wouldn't label himself.
Well, I thought he was in like Ben Shapiro's network.
He's doing stuff with him now, and it's not because he's right wing. It's because Ben Shapiro's not like a retard.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't say bullshit and that kind of stuff.
I don't trust Ben Shapiro though, dude. Like, dude's kind of a shill.
I don't think he's gonna say bullshit. I think he will capitalize on hot topics, and he does. As they caught him, I don't remember who caught him doing it, but like avoiding saying certain things so he doesn't get canceled. Like, so he's kind of like
self-censored.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, I even remember when mandates were first being discussed, like a year and a half ago, probably. He was like, "I'm not for mandates, but I am for schools forcing the kids to get vaccines." It's like, what?
Oh, you
Isn't
said
that a
that?
mandate?
Well, that's dumb.
Something. Don't quote me, but something like that. And then he like now he's like running all these ads on like YouTube, like fight the mandate. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? You were part of the problem. But I know someone that works for him.
Really?
Or I don't know her, but I know her sister. She like moved from California to Tennessee because she works. And I was like, that's interesting. That'd be cool to get her on the show, although I doubt she'd be able to say anything. But
We'll just say, I don't know.
we can't rat ourselves out right now.
Yeah,
but...
no, it's tough. It's like I can't say what we would call it instead, because then everybody would know. And by everybody, I mean nobody listens, so who cares?
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know, but wait, so Adam Carolla had Gavin Newsom on before he was like governor, or before people?
It was
really
when he
paid
was.
attention?
It was when he was governor, and I don't think Adam Carolla wasn't big enough that Gavin Newsom knew better to go on the show.
Oh, I see.
That
So you're
kind of
saying
thing.
no one really knew Carolla, the Carolla show?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's got a big following. I just don't think he was in the mainstream media, so he gladly went on. And I'll have to find the link and share
And then he
it
just started
somewhere.
like grilling him.
Basically it. And I can't remember
Damn, that's
exactly
that big.
all the stuff he was bringing up, but Gavin Newsom had no answers.
Bro, that guy's a.
He's
king
just
dog,
really
dude.
good at saying the things that you're supposed to say. Like, that's it.
Say the thing, dude. Say the thing. Women rule. Do you think like politicians pander to women because
For the votes,
like
man?
statistically there's like more women in the world than men?
Are there?
Or at least in America, right? Isn't it like 51% women?
That's good enough reason to pander.
We don't even know if you can say that anymore.
And
Assume
also,
gender
like, it
that.
just works well. Like, on women. No offense.
Yeah, no offense, but it's like they kind of like
You just say the
feel
nice
bad
things, and
easier.
then they're all about it. Versus,
yeah, like we need to help everyone. They're like, yeah, I agree.
like there's like I won't say the person's name, but somebody I know that like likes to watch the news. Basically, there's like, oh, that Rand Paul, he's a real asshole, and it's like, no, you only think he's an asshole because they tell you to think he's an asshole, but he's actually
Yeah.
speaking things that are true. But like it comes across as mean, and then people don't like that. So that's why Rand Paul's not going to see a lot of women votes.
Right. Even though no homo, he's like a pretty good-looking guy.
Rand Paul, dude, he's fucking old. What are you talking about?
Or is that his son? I don't know.
No, yeah, Rand Paul's his son, but even he's like 50 or something.
But I mean, he like, you know, doesn't look bad.
All right, okay.
I love him. He's so hot, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the thing that does annoy me, it's like Rand Paul and all these guys. They like it's like theater, bro. They're like grilling Fauci, and they're not doing shit about it. It's like, dog. If all like if I don't know. With this evidence and with how damning like COVID has been, this guy should honestly, like, in my opinion, dude, Fauci should get the death penalty. I'm sorry, but like,
Damn.
he screwed up so many lives. Like, if COVID's that bad and he really was funding this sort of research, like, he should, like, that blood should be on his hand. And it's like, why is he not getting the death penalty if what you guys have been saying this whole time is true? Of like, oh, hundreds of thousands of people are dying and shit. It's like, okay, then put that dude in an electric chair instead of just like playing this fucking patty cake with him in Congress. It's so annoying. What's this guy week 2?
Water.
Water would be nice.
I think it was like a Babylon Bee article or something that was like Republicans vow to get real angry and stuff at the next hearing. It's like, yeah, basically.
Yeah,
And
people
that's
start
yeah,
trying to
I'm
catch
really
feelings
in
all
that boat.
bullshit.
Like even with Rand Paul, it's like you're really not making a difference here. Like, what are you actually doing other than doing the theater? And if you're not, then like, whatever, dude.
Then do you actually believe what you're saying?
You know. Like,
They all look horrible, man.
yeah, I don't know anybody. I don't even think like AOC or somebody like that believes what they're saying.
Oh hell no, she doesn't. Jimmy Dore reports a lot on her and how she just is basically like doing what Nancy Pelosi wants her to do.
You know, it's
She'll be
just
like, "Well, we couldn't do that because blah X Y Z." It's like, no, yeah, you could. You just want Nancy Pelosi's position, so you're like sidling up to her.
you.
I just I really wonder like how long our government has actually like been this fucked up because it's nothing new. Like there's no
From
way.
like when I was reading like the history of tax stuff, it started like right away. Like the corruption was like immediate. Like president number 2. Like it's crazy.
I wonder if they were like British agents and like just knew people. I don't
Oh.
know. But
I think
you know
some of
what I
them
mean?
definitely
Like,
were. Yeah,
probably.
I think so.
If not all, maybe like all over here was just like another British conquering like scheme. I don't. Who knows, dude?
Maybe.
I mean, I guess that's where like is that maybe where like the Rothschild conspiracies come into play? I don't know.
Oh
Should
yeah.
have Tom on for that stuff.
Oh for sure. Thomas Bob's. That's his name. We call him Thomas Bob's.
Thomas Pops. I'm actually pretty stoked to go to his wedding in Mexico. I've never been
And
there.
where is it in Mexico?
I think it's like in like TJ.
Mm.
Pretty sure. I mean, basically fucking California, but it'll be cool to see him. I mean, what's funny is like I don't, you know, I knew him in college just because we were both in band. But I don't know. I hung out with him and whatever. We like kicked it a couple times, but I don't know him like that well. But I was pretty stoked when he asked me to come out and go to his wedding. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, dude.
It's gonna sell you to the
And he, like, sends me
cartels.
pictures. He's like an agent of the cart now, but he'll like send me pictures of like the food that they make out there, and I'm just like, holy shit, that looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like his wife cooks like this like fresh, what I don't know what the stuff is, but I'm like, dude, I need to get me some of that food when I'm out there.
And report back, cause I'm like, why don't we just move to Mexico? Because apparently New Mexico is 80 degrees all year round, based on where it is close to the equator, but its elevation cools it off. It's the prime place to be.
Are you saying move to Mexico or move to New Mexico?
Sorry, Mexico City. My bad.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, Mexico is like, you know, it's like cheaper, and honestly, like, talking to Tom, like, they are not anal about like the COVID shit and stuff. So it's like they're almost like more free than we are. Like you can fish. I don't even know if you need like a license. I don't know that much, but like apparently their waters are just teeming with fish, dude.
Mm.
Like I have a buddy of mine who goes down there and fishes in like Baja area. He's like, dude, the water's like crystal clear, and there's just anytime you cast your line in, like you're going to fucking catch a fish.
Nice.
Maybe that's why there's like all this like dispute around Mexico, is because like it's actually like a gem, and the politicians don't want people to know.
Yeah.
Like super nice. Well, I mean, you know, Tom is like pretty like whatever you want to call him. He lives out there, so it's like if it's working for him, like fuck.
Yeah, get the lowdown while you're out there.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Like, what's it really like here, dude? You like it? Really? All right. We're moving.
It's a lot cheaper, man. Just like, you know, maybe work like 10, I don't know exactly, but like maybe work like 10, 15 years in America, make that US dollar, and then just fucking liquidate it, you know, whatever, move out to Mexico and buy like a little.
My plan
I
is
don't
to
know, dude.
retire to Bulgaria. That's what Bobby wants me to do.
Oh, really?
Because it's dirt cheap there. And it's
Romania's
beautiful.
fucking cheap too.
Yeah.
But I think Romania's pretty shitty.
Yeah, at the moment.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Bulgaria. To be completely honest, totally ignorant where it is even on a map. I don't know. It's in Latin America, right?
Oh, that's strike one.
Fuck. Where is it? See, educate me. I'll admit I don't know anything about Bulgaria. I don't know where it is.
Oh shit. It's basically
know what color
north
people
of.
are there, like-
I think it's on the northern border of Greece, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of
Where all
rich
the
history.
pedos live?
Yeah.
Greece, not Bulgaria.
Lots of
That's
cool
bad,
stuff.
but-
It's got some like. Who's the? Hold on, I gotta get my ass kicked over here. Okay. Like I guess what's his face? Spartacus is from there.
From Bulgaria?
Yeah, that's where like all that stuff kind of took place.
So there's like.
Bobby swears he's a descendant of Spartacus, but we always say, nah, man.
Bro, Bobby seems funny, dude.
He is.
I
He's
wanna.
a cool dude.
Yeah, you gotta get him on here. I wanna meet him. Seems like a riot.
We will have him on. He has some good insights because he grew up in communist Bulgaria, and he's seen some things, man, and some stuff.
Well, yeah, man. There's this girl that I met out here in Colorado, like the Western Slope, which is very random, but she's from Cambodia,
Oh.
and she was like she's like, yeah, I hate, like, not, she didn't say this specifically, but like you can tell like she hates like the Democrat Party, and then she was she was just like, yeah, like the Democrats are just trying to like turn this into communism, like. She can see it, and she's like, yeah, like and she's like, and honestly, at this point, like they've already turned it communist. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
if you're able to see that, like, I don't know.
No, she
like, it's sad
even
no
that.
one listens to this shit. Like,
The lady from Venezuela that got called a cow by the Japanese guys from Venezuela, and she's like, dude, this shit is like, you're doing the same stuff that happened in our country. And we tried to get away from that.
right, dude, it's sad, man. Like, yeah, that girl from Cambodia is like, it came up because she's like, oh, I hate China because of like how communist they are. And, like they I don't know, I guess they kind of like played around with Cambodia and screwed them up, and then they became communist. And she's like, she's like, this is America's turning into that too. It's just like, fuck, dude. You can't escape it. I almost wonder, not to justify it, but I almost wonder if it's kind of like the natural tendency of nations to go towards.
Oh, I think
like,
so.
Because once you get more people and like more resources accessible in those countries, then everyone's like, well, we're thriving. Everybody should have a piece of cake. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, the reason we got to this point is because, like, and, a lot of like the communist places, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're like ancient, like old ass places that have been around forever. It's like they probably were at a point, like, they were probably a lot more, like, oh, fuck, dude. You get what I'm saying.
Yes. I remember I had a friend that was his parents were missionaries in Cambodia, so he lived there for a while, and randomly stepping on a landmine is a daily threat.
Holy shit.
Left
no
over
way.
from Vietnam
Pol
War.
Pot's era.
And that,
Oh,
boat.
damn, dude. That's terrifying.
It's like, oh,
Cambodian
that
chicks are
seems
kind of hot,
nice.
though, I'll be honest.
They're also cool people. Like, I knew a handful of Cambodians and Vietnamese people, and they're real cool.
They're really like they want to be like super self-sufficient. Like they're all about like the American dream sort of thing. From what because there's, for whatever reason, there's like a decent amount of Cambodians, Jesus, in on the western slope of Colorado, which like if you know the
Interesting.
western slope, it's like kind of like, I don't want to say it's like rancher, kind of like, cowboy style. It's like I would not expect that, but I don't know.
Oh
I'm
shit!
gonna eat real quick. Don't die.
Try not to. Oh, he's only going for me. Move! Not even close, baby. I can't. I've got too much shit. I need to start using the freaking inventory wheel.
Yeah, I don't ever use that thing.
It's way faster.
Are you a real hunter or
but-
are you a noob, dude? If you use that, in my book, you're
Well,
not.
I'm not a real hunter because I don't have the corn popper.
Yeah, you do.
It's
doesn't
not
pop
on
it.
me, man. It doesn't count.
It just don't pop no mo.
Also, yeah, with what do we need? Tell you what, 10 subscribers. I'll write a nasty letter about them changing the corn popper noise. We based our entire business model on the corn popper and the sound effects it makes.
They took it out, damn it.
It was in Generations Ultimate. We're just gonna switch back to that. Maybe I need to like buy World and see if it's in there.
Probably not. That thing sucks.
Does it
like the
suck?
least-
I've never played it.
It's like no, it's actually pretty badass, but it's like it is like the least Monster Hunter game out there, other than like whatever Monster Hunter Stories or whatever those weird ass ones are,
Oh, yeah.
spin-offs.
Well,
But those
what's
aren't really
so?
trying to be.
What's different about it? Like this is kind of different from what we're used to.
Honestly, it is a lot of like this game. Like this one took a lot of inspiration. I don't know. It's more like I don't know, man. It's been a while since I played it, so I don't really remember. But it feels way different. Like it feels very different. But
That's
this game,
that's
you can
what
tell,
people
took a
say,
lot
but
of
they can never
inspiration.
really. I'm just gonna have to play it. Let's see what you mean.
Well, I mean,
Cause I'm like, how different can it be? It's freaking Monster Hunter.
even like down to the graphics, man. It's like a lot shinier and
Well, yeah.
like, which makes sense, I guess. But
Also,
yeah,
Rise on the
I don't know.
PC looks fantastic. I must say.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. And I thought this looked good, just on its own. But yeah. Granted, that's on, I'm sure, like $2,000 computers, but
yeah,
it still looks good.
yeah. It's honestly, it's been probably 4 years now since I played Monster Hunter World, so I don't really remember what it was like, but it did feel way different. Like it didn't feel like a Monster Hunter game, honestly. But then I'll say this one took a lot of inspiration from it, but they did stay like more true to the Monster Hunter formula in Rise somehow.
I see. We are. I hope he's close to dead because I'm running a little low on stuff.
On the stuff, on the juice.
I mean, he's beat the shit, so surely we're close.
Well, he's not limping. After him. Yeah, I'm down to. I think it'd be cool to stream with, or like have like some of my music playing that I make. I could like try to put a playlist together or some shit, and then I'll copyright strike your channel.
How dare you?
Imagine if I did that. So shit. Like,
Actually,
shite.
dude, I think you should just so we could get the Twitch drama
Get some
going.
controversy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, hit this thing.
I want to be it. Oh, damn it! All right, you better bubble him up, dude.
I'm gonna bubble all over this fool. Bubble, 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 bobble. Dude, I remember. Oh man, dude, Brandon, like a long time ago. So there's this game, and honestly, I think like Donkey does a video about it, but this is like Brandon was on this game years before that, where it's like called like Noah's Ark or some shit, where you're like,
Oh.
it's like a racing game where you play as the animals. And Brandon, dude, like he like got into the back end of the game and like changed a bunch of shit. in
Oh,
the
yeah,
game.
yeah. I remember
That was
John would do
so
that too.
sick, dude.
Because you could.
Bro, I feel like. What's up?
Yeah, it's just that you could. I mean, really, you can do that to any game. I think it was just a simple enough game to mod that you could really have fun with it.
But like, man, that's like a skill that I feel like you should be able to put on a resume. Bro, what the heck?
I was at like 85% health.
That's crazy.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy, man. This is probably our most like fails in one stream, I think. Honestly.
No, nobody's watching. But that, yeah, that's my last fight, unfortunately. I thought we had it in the bag. Why are we sucking so much ass?
I think we're probably focused on some interesting content that we're discussing.
That's true.
You done, you said?
Wrapping up.
I mean, you're done fighting, right?
Yeah. I still gotta. I think Brooke might be here on Tuesday, and I can talk to her about getting our. Yeah, we need like a logo, a couple banners, and then like an overlay. That's a little cooler than this one.
You know, it would be kind of sick. I don't know if you already have a concept in mind, then whatever. But if it was just like a corn, like a corn, like a piece of corn, just like the ones that grow out of the ground.
Yeah.
And then like there's like popcorn like popping off of it, like turning into popcorn. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay, I like
Maybe
it.
an idea. I don't
like
know.
it.
Maybe I'll have Sean mock something up. Also, yeah, I mean, if Brooke's like too busy, I could see if Sean wants to do something, or we could have them both do it, and then like have a little competition.
Sean will probably be cheaper. Will he do it for free?
Yeah, we can exploit child labor with him.
It's like, well, we give you money, but you're not old enough yet. So.
No, I'll pay him.
If he wants to throw something together, he can. I know Brooke is kind of busy, so sure.
I'll ask him tonight. I mean,
or at least I need to see some ideas, but yeah.
Love Sean to death, but dude, sometimes to get this kid to do something is like trying to fucking push a boulder, dude.
Freaking like, Zoomers.
Like he's honestly got so much talent. He's got all these like cool things that he can use, and then he'll always be like, I don't have time, man. I never have time. And then I'll go in his room. He's just like sitting on his phone. I'm like, and I'll be like, oh, dude, I don't have time to do anything. And he's like, yeah. Like he said that with like Dune. He said that with like some cover art I wanted from him a while ago, and I literally had to like sit him down and be like, dude, this is what I want. Or no, honestly, this is how you get him. This is how I get him. I go like, hey, dude, I want you to show me how to use your tablet because I'm just gonna start making shit on my own. He's like, but that's my job, and I was like, well, if you're not doing it, I'll learn it. He's like, okay, never mind. Let me get on it right now. Like, you little shit. But he's a good kid.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I assume we'll be casting next Friday. We had tossed around the idea of like a couple episode D&D campaign for fun. I'd probably I'd probably make it like take like current day events and disguise them as Dungeons and Dragons to make it funny.
I would like that. That'd be funny.
In a semi-humorous way, because I think that's the most entertaining for people.
Yeah.
They like it to be funny, so I'm going to try to do our character creation and throw out some ideas and stuff like that next episode, and I'm sure we'll talk about current events too. I just have to find a way to like make it simple so you've never have you never played?
Bro, I don't know shit about D&D. Like, not that I don't like the idea of it. I've been asked to go into campaigns and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't
It's
want to
hard
get
to
into it,
step
but I'll do it.
into on your own. So I'm hoping I can make like a probably like a goofy PowerPoint or something to go with it to explain the basics of it, because it's really like it sounds complicated, but it's really not once you start playing. And that's something I found with we had bought randomly like a it's an extensive board game that requires a lot of setup and days to play. Um, but like
What's it called? Is it that spaceship game?
it's no, and it's not whatever Aaron has either. I'm sure
That's
that's
the one I
more
was thinking.
complicated. Um, it's called Gloomhaven, where it's kind of like it's like D&D, but it's really simplified, and you don't really have to role play. You just kind of battle your way through monsters and stuff. Um, but I spent like 30 minutes reading instructions on like abilities and stuff that we can use as our characters that I could have explained to somebody in 5 minutes. Like, it's so over the top complicated. And I feel like if I would say, if I said, Max,
honestly,
buy
I
a
feel
player's
like,
handbook and just make a character, you'd be like, I don't get it at all. I'm out.
dude, I feel like that's how it is. I really think there's a problem with like instruction manual creators. They don't know how to communicate. Like with
Yeah.
this thing, my MC707 right here, like I've got the manual on my phone and I printed it all out and I'll read through shit and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. So I'll find a YouTube video and they explain it in like 5 minutes. I'm just like,
And I wonder if it's like, I guess it's necessary for someone that's never played any type of game ever to explain it, because like the game, like it takes like a page to basically explain. If you walk up to a door and stand on the door on your turn, the door opens, and it took like 30 minutes to explain that. I'm like, okay, thanks for that. but somebody that's never played has no idea what any of this means. Maybe it was necessary. So, but I'm hoping I can cut some shortcuts,
like
and then
step by step, like
I don't know if Aaron's. I feel like Aaron actually has played way more than me, so maybe I'll consult him, or he can throw in some comments.
yeah. Pointers.
Explain
I
it
know.
better.
Yeah, I know him. All of my brothers are like really into it. Actually, I think.
And that's my problem. Like
I'm down.
I've never really gotten to play extensively because I don't know, either the people that play just they're not available as much, or they live far away now, and then nobody around me really is into it. So, and I'm hoping Skype works out. We'll see. I think we tried playing, I remember one time with a group of friends, Pathfinder, which is kind of like D&D basically. Playing over Skype was difficult. I think it was just audio. Maybe that's why it kind of sucked. And also, when everyone doesn't know what they're doing, it kind of sucks. But
yeah, I'll be like the little D&D virgin. I have no idea what I'm doing, so.
I think for you, it's just well, people forget the whole game is about just your character and playing your character. All the details about all the other stuff is not super important, but some people make it to be. But I think if I just explain the basics of doing things, you'll be good. It's not too bad, especially since you've played games before.
Maybe I'll have Sean play what board games. What did you say? Sorry, you're like cutting out right now. But did you say especially because I played games before?
Just games in general. Like even something like Dark Souls, you'll just understand what stats are, and you'll understand like, and maybe if I put it in, like, all this stuff you do in D&D happens in the background in any other game you play. You just don't see it. So maybe if I explain it in those terms, it'll help.
Yeah, maybe I'll have Sean explain it to me. I mean, he has a group he plays with every weekend, so.
Sure.
Maybe I'll have him give me like a lowdown. I come in with like a little knowledge, yeah.
That'll help.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's what we'll do for a bit. I also have, like we said, the idea of getting people that have worked in different places come share the dark secrets of those places. We'll do that. That's all that's on my menu so far, but we always take requests. mightycornpoppers@gmail.com or dybpodcast@gmail.com. I think our overlay says DYB podcast. I need to fix that. And then at some point, I need to do like a brief I need to do a brief podcast just to say, hey guys, this is where we're at now. Less conspiracies, but
what our plans are
but still talking and more fun stuff. But yeah, that's all I got. See ya, guys.
Deuces.